Hi, everybody. It's Heidi here from Costume Co. Back for another live stream. Really sorry about last week. I was having some technical difficulties with my computer, and I had to cancel last week's stream. So, but here we are. We're here again. I have two guests on. I have a very noisy, I have a very
Me-
noisy guest named Aaron.
Sorry, I'm running back inside now.
He's no, sorry. He's Aaron's coming. He's one of my viewers, and if you heard the noise you were hearing in the background, he's actually in South Carolina, and there were birds chirping, and there's wind and everything. So anyway, it sounds like
I'm
we're in a
running
bit
back
of a
inside now.
sounds like we're in a bit of a windstorm. Anyway, so we're waiting for Tatiana to come. She's going to be joining the live stream shortly. And hopefully everyone who's here can see me. Is anyone in the chat today? There's 6 people watching, but no one's commenting yet, Aaron. So anyway, Aaron, we're going to go ahead. So, Aaron, we were just chatting quickly about how we know each other. I've had this channel for about 2 years now. Like you were telling me when you thought we kind of got to know each other. When was that?
Oh Lord, maybe because I started sending you costume stuff, I think in June of last year.
June of last year, yeah.
But I think we started talking in maybe April because I remember the first time me and you started talking, like my first comment on your channel was it was like a questionnaire.
Yeah, so I think what I had done was I hadn't done a Q&A, so I did a call out saying if anybody has any questions, just to ask me on social media. And but also I think at the same time I started doing this segment called Show Your Art, and you had sent me in some designs that you had done. So that was the other
Yeah, and
thing.
I think the first complete costume that I sent you was the kind of crappy Cersei Lannister one.
Yeah, so you did sort of a gender bend Cersei Lannister, her throne costume, her black throne costume, I think.
It was, yeah, but it was kind of a twist on it just a little bit, like on the oh Lord. But on the skirt portion that was connected to the jacket, what I did was Japanese lapels.
Yeah,
And you
okay.
probably can't see it.
So for any of you guys who I noticed there's some people joining the chat. Hi everyone. We've got Mara Jade Starkwalker. Hi. How are you?
Oh.
Angel, I don't know her. Do you? Mara Jade?
No, I don't think I so.
I don't think so. Angel all over. Angel over. Sorry. Jasmine
Mm-hmm.
List. And you do it. Hey, you do it. He says,
Mm,
hello, Heidi, stopping by to say hello in the middle of cooking lobster. Oh, he's so lucky.
I know,
Aaron,
right?
Aaron, do you like lobster?
We have a red lobster, but I'm more of a shrimp person.
You are. So for anyone
Yeah.
who's joining the chat right now, Aaron is my guest today. Aaron is oftentimes you'll see him in the chat. He's our moderator as well. And Aaron and I were just chatting about how we got to know each other. But one of the things that sort of solidified our relationship is that, he's been sending me his creations. He's a very talented stitcher and costume designer. You also draw, like you have beautiful drawings as well. So, and then we're waiting also for Tatiana, I sent her a link, so I'm hoping she's going to join us soon. And we're going to go through some of your designs that you've done. So I thought
All
this
right.
would be I thought this would be a really great opportunity to kind of get to know you. Like we've only been sort of chatting by Facebook or by
Yeah, this was like the first time we've actually you saw my god awful face a second ago, you know what I mean?
oh,
We've never actually seen
he's
or like really heard each other's
He's
voices.
such a liar. He's so handsome and he's just very self-deprecating. Don't listen to him. So Aaron,
Mm,
tell me a little bit about yourself though. I mean, I know you're from South Carolina. I know you're a young man, but other than that, I don't know much about you. Tell me about yourself.
well, I just turned 22 years old this past April 28th.
Oh, happy birthday.
Well, kind of late, but yeah, thank you.
My birthday was in April too, so happy belated birthday,
And
Aaron.
I have quite a large family. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I think on my dad's side, I have like 8 cousins. On my mom's side, I think I have like 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of always had like the whole family function thing. But the funny thing is that besides me and Genevieve, we were really the only sewers.
You're the only sewers in the family?
Yeah, and the thing is that
Mhm.
on my mom's side, she's from Cuba and Ecuador.
Mhm.
And from the Canary Islands. And apparently my great grandmother was like this famed seamstress in Cuba. She actually made my grandmother's gown for her wedding.
Oh, wow. Well, and like I know there's a lot of nurses in your family. You were telling me that.
Yes. My
So,
sister is an RN nurse. I think my aunt is a physical therapist or something along those lines.
yeah,
And
and so sorry,
and
and
the,
because I know like so one of the fun things that you and I had been talking about was when I was doing the Outlander videos.
mhm,
And this is sort of how I got to know Genevieve a bit, is she was a nurse in World War II in England. Is that it's
mhm,
correct, right? In England. And so she was
yes.
sort of helping me with, you guys, through you, she was sort of helping me with some of the historical costumes. I still haven't done that video though. I still have to do it.
It's she said that it's gonna take you a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of research. So you and Genevieve, who just passed away, and I did a little tribute to her a couple of weeks ago, where it was a real sad loss for us. But so I've gotten to know you, and I've gotten to know Genevieve, and I've gotten to know your costumes. And so have you, like you were talking about how you did an internship when you were in high school. So tell me about that. That's a really interesting story.
So the internship, if I remember correctly, I believe it was in September because it was like literally my freshman year of high school. Like it was like the week like we started, and I don't know if ours is different from up in the frozen lands of Canada, but
Yes, it's free. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful here today, though. I'm telling you, it's like I don't know what it would be in Fahrenheit, but it would probably be in the 80s up here today. So it's a beautiful day.
I like, but so they had like this huge like job fair. It was almost like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and they had botanists, robotics, all kinds of literature, writers, bloggers, just everything that you can think of was literally at my school. And it's so sad because the year after that, the freshman that came behind me, because I came a sophomore, they didn't do it again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of didn't really irk me, but, it's just kind of disappointing.
Okay, but you were telling me, so they shoot a lot of movies in South Carolina.
Well, not a lot. They actually shoot a lot in North Carolina, which is like
Okay.
an hour from me.
Okay, so
But
so you were telling me you got to work on a couple of really great costumes.
yes, they usually don't shoot a whole movie in North Carolina. They only do a little bit.
Okay.
Like for scenery and stuff. Like in the Hunger Games, most of the woods in the Hunger Games, like during the arena and whenever Katniss in District 12, that's really North Carolina. In fact, they still have the set that's still there
Oh, wow.
from the whole movie. And I found that, but I was one of the team designers, and what we did like some of her dresses. I didn't get to work on the red dress, but I did work on her kind of District 12 kind of rugged look.
Was that the one where she's in the chariot? Like when they were
No. That one was completely like a whole nother designer. We were all split into teams.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I would have wished to.
Yeah. But you were saying it was a Mockingjay, the Mockingjay.
Yes, the one I believe it's in the second movie where she's wearing her wedding dress.
Yeah.
And it burns away. I was one of the people that helped design that dress.
That's
because it was like a whole team. I think there was 12 kids with me.
Yeah. So were there feathers on that one?
That's the thing, because they did like this weird, like shimmery kind of detail on it, but I think they touched it up in the production, like how the wings kind of spread out. That was all, CGI, and she actually had to wear these weird kind of like braces up on her bicep.
Yeah, to support it.
Yeah, because it was basically just a little green screen.
Yeah.
And
I haven't done that movie. I've had a lot of people ask me. I got to do that movie. I love the series. I read all the books, and I
did too. I loved it so much.
I loved it so much. Somebody had told me years ago, this is just when I was, I guess, newly at a theater school, and they said, "Oh, I'm going to go see the Hunger Games." And I'm like, "Oh, what's that all about?" And they're like, "Oh, actually it's pretty good. Like it's, the books were pretty good." And I'm like, "Okay." So then I went and got the books. I'm trying to remember, like the movies came out, there was a space between them, right?
Yes, there was. The first one was a whole movie. The second one was a whole movie as well. There were only 3 books, so like any other book series, when they turn into the movie, they always split the last book into like part A or part B, 1 or 2, kind of like how Hunger Games did this year.
Now, yeah, did you think that they did a good job of interpreting the books? Like, what did you think was better?
I think the books were a little too crazy to put on screen. Like, could you imagine if the actor who plays Caesar, if he actually did, dye his skin a light purple? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I know they had the whole thing with, that I mean, they did some of the cat, the people like with the prosthetics and the pieces underneath the skin and everything, trying to make themselves look like cat. Oh, Tatiana's here.
Hey, Tatiana.
Hi, Tatiana.
Hello, darling.
How are you? Oh my God, it's so good to see you.
Me too.
We were getting worried.
Yeah,
it's just that I wasn't expecting it to be like a video call. I was thinking it was like the last time you did it with Aaron. So when I saw the Hangout logo, I was like, oh shit, I look horrible.
No, you look beautiful.
I hid my face. I hid my face, girl. I hid my face.
All made in 2 minutes. I was literally in my pajamas.
Yeah, no, Aaron's not showing his face, but he's actually really handsome. He's very self-deprecating, but you were beautiful. I'm so glad to have the two of you here together because, Aaron and I were just chatting like that, we've been through communication, through Facebook or through email, through the YouTube channel. We've been chatting with each other, becoming friends, and yet we've never actually talked. And you live in another country, and Aaron lives in another country. So this is such a wonderful thing that we're having happening here.
Actually, the funny thing is, me and Tatiana aren't really strangers because we actually have talked in the live chats and also in the comments as well.
That's awesome. I'm so glad.
I know.
I'm bringing the two of you together. So
honestly, I was so flattered when Aaron said that he was inspired by my belt design to like do a dress for.
I made a little costume for my niece.
I was like, niece. Oh my God. I have literally been like bragging about that to all my friends. I was like, oh, that's so fun.
Well, Tatiana, so I've got I think I've got most of your costumes loaded up in a slideshow. So we're going to go through that in a little bit, but so now you're here. Why don't you tell everyone? Okay. So we've got a small group of people in the chat. Hi, everybody. We've got Chrissy of Old Stones is here and Golf Princess.
Hi.
Here. Hi, everybody. So Tatiana, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and, maybe how we kind of got to know each other in that?
Well, basically what I did was I've been interested in drawing since I was little. I literally started by like copying drawings from Teen Titans.
Oh yeah.
And when I was little, I actually wanted to be a mangaka, one of those Japanese animators, because I was really into manga.
Yeah.
But then I realized that I sucked at like storyboarding and backgrounds, and I just didn't really care about any of that stuff. I just like drawing the characters. So basically, I just stick to like drawing characters and making up stories. But then I got tired of making stories, and I decided, oh wait, I just like designing characters. So then I started designing characters, but then I just like, oh wait, I like to design clothes. It's like, so I started designing clothes, but then I got into theater, and it was like,
yeah,
wait, I like to design costumes. Fuck everything else.
Yeah.
Let's design costumes.
So now, Tatiana, you said you just graduated. So what were you studying?
I was studying drama at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedra campus. And I'm actually graduating this July, God willing, because there were some issues with the grades, but I've tried my best to resolve that.
Now, and I don't know if you're okay with me bringing this up, but you told me you had an audition. You had an audition. Yeah. You want to talk about it?
I had well, as maybe a lot of you know, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's bringing Hamilton to the island to be showed in the island next January for 3 weeks. In an attempt to help foster tourism into the country after Maria and everything.
Yeah,
because it's awesome and I love it. It's amazing. And basically what he's doing is that for the locals it's gonna be like $10, and then for the tourists it's gonna be like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
the ticket.
Yeah,
and as part of the initiative, he wanted to incorporate local talent into the island. into the show. So this last week he was him and his team were holding auditions for people to go and be part of the show, and I auditioned with this, and I sang "The Show Must Go On" from Queen because why not go for the classics?
That's
Oh
awesome.
God, I love that song.
That is amazing. So you're a singer as well. So you never told me this.
Oh, well, I design costumes, I sing, I act, I dance, but that's not my forte. That's like the least thing I'm good at. So basically, anything art related is me. It's me. It's basically me.
So one of the ways I think what Aaron and I were talking about is how we got to know each other. But I think so I done a call out just to sort of say, I want to share people's art. Is that how it happened? Or did you just send me, did you say, hey, look at this. I did this Cersei Lannister.
I think actually, no, I think it was the Marjorie. It was the Marjorie video that I contacted you. That I was like, oh yeah, I love your stuff. I love your videos. I learned a lot from them. And then I said, I even designed this Marjorie costume. And this was while I was in England studying a semester in England. And she was like, oh, send it to me, because I was like, I would love it if you could like critique it and tell me your opinion. He's like, oh sure, send it to me, and I sent it to you. He's like, oh my God, that was so beautiful. It's amazing. He's like,
I don't know there, Tatiana.
I don't know if you got the idea for for the show your art segment before or after I show you my drawing, but either way,
you're for sure one. You were definitely the first one, yeah. And then Aaron came in shortly after that, yeah.
Actually, I think Tatiana's. Oh, what sketch was it? I think you showed my Cersei costume whenever you showed her Dany and Cersei armor.
Yeah.
The designs that she made for them. I think so. I might be wrong. I'm slightly delusional. I've been in the sun all day.
Yeah. Aaron lives. Oh, do you know this, Tatiana? He lives in South Carolina, so it's very warm there. Although I'm sure it's warmer where you are.
If it's warm there, it's like boiling over here.
Yeah,
I know. I had my folding fan out.
We're representing like sort of 3 levels of like North America. Like we're representing the the triad. Now, Tatiana, sorry, I know this is a completely different subject, but how are you guys recovering, by the way, after the tornadoes, the hurricanes? Hurricanes, sorry.
Yeah. Well, it has been tough, and it's really is gonna get tougher over here. I don't know if you heard, because according to the government, the death toll over here was 64, but that's a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
It was actually a study showed that it was actually around 4,600 people, over 4,600.
Oh my God.
That died, yeah.
Oh my God.
And yes, and it was either because of the storm itself or the aftermath, because because yeah, I'm kind of
I know, that's okay.
I have 3 screens right now.
Yeah, because yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And basically a lot of people died in the hospitals or even in their homes because of the lack of water, of drinkable water and power. It forced people to like take desperate measures and take was supposed to be undrinkable water to survive.
Yeah.
And people a lot of them died of bacterias and illnesses that could be easily treated if they could just get to a hospital, or if a lot of people, or if the government gave more of a damn. And,
oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, like I mean, like I'm in Canada, so I mean, a lot of the messaging is being controlled by the United States, so we're not getting, I know we're not getting the proper story through.
It's like that's one of the reasons why I'm so angry with Trump. I mean, kudos on him for the whole North Korea thing. Like, at least he's doing one thing right among the sea of wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm never going to forgive him for his response towards our plight. That was horrible.
I would speak like kind of sort of on behalf of the United States, but I live right there, so I'm afraid I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
They could take me out 5 more times easier than they could take y'all out.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But it did make me very sad to learn about all that, because not only was it a drinkable water, but just because of how much damage,
Yeah, it's like I know that there was like I think like the Army or the Navy like brought over one of its hospital ships that could like take care of like 1,000 people, and like literally like weeks, I think even a month afterward, there were like 19 people on the boat because it was so hard to cross the roads. They were impassable. And I think even now, like almost a year after the fact, there's still people without power on the island in the more rural areas.
Yeah, you're up high, right? You said you're up in the mountains.
No, I'm actually down by the coast. I'm actually in the metro area. So
okay.
I was one of the lucky ones. I was one of the lucky ones that we got power after 3 to 4 months. My mom, she got power after 3 months. My dad after 6.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So people are asking in the chat where you are. So she's in Puerto Rico, and I just was asking her about the recovery effort, which is very slow.
Thank you guys for your wishes of luck. I'm actually doing good compared to a lot of other people.
Yeah. So because you were messaging me between storms. That was so crazy. You're like, okay, I might not be able to get through to you because we're about to get hit by another hurricane. And I was like, oh my God, like, because in Canada, we don't have this kind of weather. We don't get, I mean, it's even rare to even have. We do get blizzards. We do get blizzards, but we're kind of like that's sort of we're prepared for that type of thing, I guess you could say.
Here, sadly, we've been considering there were to the majority of the U.S. or at least to the ones that make the decisions as in the government. We're basically what I call the booty call of the United States.
Oh
basically, we don't matter until we matter.
Yeah.
Basically, because unless the government like has need of us as like a tax haven, which is what we basically are or were, I'm not sure we still are, or if we cause problems like with Maria, they don't really give a damn about us. We
basically how it always is that, if you can't give us something, we're not going to waste our time. And that is really sad. And the thing is, in South Carolina, we usually get kind of the off stretches of a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because of the coastline or something, because we don't really get hit as bad. But I think it was Hurricane Matthew, which I think was behind Maria or before. I can't really remember, but that one hit us, but it was only a 1. So I can't even talk about how difficult it was.
I think Florida and the Keys will get it bad, and then it will just move up and slowly kind of start to slow down.
But that's the thing, because like Florida and Miami, they like, they have it on fort down, but like up here, a snowflake will fall and we all freak out.
No, basically it will be if a snowflake fell down here, it will probably be the same. Actually, in the mountains, in the middle of winter, when it's really really cold, or at least our version of cold in the mountains, it's been known to hail. Hail falls in the mountains.
Oh really? Oh my God! Yeah. Wow! Holy cow! So anyway, so Tatiana, so what are you're graduating, you think, in the summer? Fingers crossed.
July 13th.
So what are your plans after that? Do you have any plans?
Well, I would really like to do my master's in theater with a minor in costume design, because as much as I love to design costumes, I do not know how to sew, or at least I know like the basics of sewing, but outside of that, not much.
But I think you and I have talked about this, so you don't need to you don't need to know how to sew to be a costume designer. It's helpful, but
you really don't, because it's a huge team. There's like at least with the Hunger Games that I did, there was at least like 25 sketch artists. Yeah, who would do almost like similar costumes with different costumes, and then by the end of it, it's all done. The red dress that she wears, there was like 10 versions of it made, and then it was chosen. So
The same thing I found like when I was doing when I did the Black Panther, the same thing. Like they had a huge team at Marvel, and then the costume designer, I mean, she had obviously a lot of input and everything, but she told me that they would have teams that would do a lot of the building. But I did see one costume designer speaking the other day, and she was saying it does help to sew just in terms of knowing how things get put together. You know, so she said that there is some advantage, but you don't have to know how to sew.
And also, the funny thing is that half the time the costumes that are on mannequins aren't even really sewn. They're just like little mock-ups with pins all in them and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh well, my costume design professor, he always said that at least for him, when he went to do his master's in costume designing, it was like important to like not only at least know some sewing, that you also needed to have like experience in designing a play or something. And I don't have that experience.
Okay.
So that's why
look at it
find it
this
like
way.
a bit difficult to like start like a costume designing masters or something. That's why I would like if I could find a college that has like at least a minor in costume confection, that would be great, so that I can learn some more.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember,
Aaron,
you know, I mean, you know, you got to remember Einstein sucked at math whenever he was like in middle school. And there are some materials that I've never worked with before. You know, it's just an aggravating craft. It really is. But, you know, I believe in you. I see how great your sketches were, because I know you weren't like a young Picasso when you first started. It's just something you have to work on. I worked on costumes that I've just completely ripped up because of aggravation or something.
Well, and even this past year or so, I've noticed both of you have really grown, like in your skills. Like Tatiana, I've really noticed your drawing skills have really come a long way, and same with you, Aaron. I've noticed your sewing skills. Like you're working on some pretty incredible stuff. Like the more recent stuff you've been doing is pretty high.
Well,
concept.
actually, half the skills that I've heard of, I've actually heard through you. Like the cartilage plating.
Nice.
I learned from you, basically.
Aw, you guys are the best.
I mean, that's what you really are. You're kind of like a teacher in a sense, almost like you're almost like an ancient one.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, guys.
You're my Obi-Wan darling.
Oh, that's so nice. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me. Thank you. Actually, you guys don't know this. There's a person named Arlene Dixon. She's Canadian, and someone the other day told me that I look like her, and I was like, it was a really huge compliment. She's Canadian, so that's the next nicest thing someone said.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, I was just gonna say, we're getting some nice comments here, but I got who was it here? Oh, Carbon Snail wants to know, do you ladies ever talk about Westworld? Now, Tatiana, you don't watch Westworld.
Actually, I finished watching the first season recently. I haven't watched the second though.
Okay,
no spoilers.
So okay, we won't do any spoilers, but what did you think of it?
It took me some time to like get into it, because at first it was kind of hard to comprehend what was happening.
Yeah.
But as it got along and like the mystery got deeper and deeper, I just like started to fall in love with the characters, especially Maeve.
Yeah,
Maeve was the madam. I just loved her. I loved her storyline, and I was Dolores. She's the one that like was intriguing, but she's the one that confused me the most, because I wasn't understanding what was going on.
Yeah.
Although Dolores creeped me out in all honesty.
I kind of cheated a little bit, because I had already seen your costume videos on the first season.
You watched it before I did the okay, before you finished watching it. So did I spoil anything for you? Yeah. I spoiled it for you then.
A little bit, but I kind of forgot most of the spoilers anyway. So
yeah, I'm really bad. I do that sometimes too. I'll watch a breakdown video and I haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm ruining this for myself. So anyways, but so Carbon Snail, I have a video coming up, but you won't be able to watch it, Tatiana, because it's going to be something about season 2, and I'm not going to say what it is. I'll spoil it.
Yeah, don't worry. I finally finished watching The Office, so now I can sit down and watch Westworld.
Oh, okay. Aaron, do you watch Westworld, Aaron?
The thing is that I always try to watch TV shows 5 episodes in, or at least like 30 minutes in, like if it's a movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like a book. And Westworld isn't bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
Sure.
But you know, just because I don't like this flavor doesn't mean that somebody else is gonna love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now,
The
Tatiana.
acting is great. The costumes are great.
Yeah.
But it's just I can't get into it. You know what I mean?
No, that's totally
Yeah,
fine.
it's
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Tatiana.
No, I know. I said like it's understanding was like I liked it, but if I had to pick between that and Game of Thrones all the way.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones always win.
Yeah.
No, I think even hardcore Westworld fans would agree, even that Game of Thrones. I mean, you have to realize Game of Thrones has, I think, 10 times the viewership of Westworld. Westworld,
and it's older too, so.
And it's older. Yeah, it's more established. But
have y'all actually seen the original movie?
I have.
I know.
It is so cool.
Oh, did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. It was so out there.
Yeah, I know. See, I had seen it, Aaron, when I was younger, like, probably not when it first came out, but because I went through this science fiction phase and I watched it and I thought it was really good, but I went back to watch it about a month ago and it's pretty dated.
It really is.
It's pretty dated. And so, but it was written by Michael Crichton, the same guy who wrote Jurassic Park, which makes sense.
I know.
Yeah. So
it kind of has the same kind of story in a way, because it's like these tourists come to this place with this weird creatures. In Jurassic Park is dinosaurs, here is androids, and then everything goes to shit in a handbasket, and basically
it really does.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah,
it's a definitely what if story. Like, what if we, create dinosaurs from DNA or something, or what if?
Well, I know in Westworld and it's just like in Jurassic Park. One question that's always asked in those situations is, what happens when you play God?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Wendy Hull says that Westworld is just as good as Game of Thrones. Okay.
Everybody has their thing. I can't at least on a production standpoint, I totally agree with you. But maybe I just like more political stuff. I don't know. Yeah. As my dad, he's the one with the history buff thing. But yeah,
it's just cup of tea. It's just cup of teas.
Yeah, basically.
I think what it is just we've got we've had more time. Like, you've only watched season 1. Aaron's not into it. I'm only partway through season 2. It's not done yet. So we've just got more invested in Game of Thrones right now. We finished. We're moving into season 8. And okay, so Tatiana, I have to throw this idea at you. Aaron and I were just talking about it. It's such a great idea. I don't know what people in the chat are going to think about it. Okay, so when the new season of Game of Thrones comes out, what do you say if we do like a Game of Thrones fashion police?
Yeah.
You know what that is? Like, I thought it would be so fun. Like, I got this idea the other day when I was emailing you, and I thought, oh my God, like, a lot of creators that I know, that like YouTube creators, they do these panels after the show, like a round table talking about, what's going on with the script and the characters and that. And I thought it would be just so much fun if after the show we did a roundup, a fashion police, or we could come up with a fun name for it and just go through all the costumes, and it would just be such a blast. Don't you think?
That would be awesome, because they just reminded me of your opinion of your videos on the costumes of last season, and how much you hated Cersei's costume.
Oh my God, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Like,
oh my God, I just thought of the name for it.
What's well,
especially the leather costume that looked like grayscale. You just hated how it looked, and the last one she wore, that you said that it looked way too contemporary. The coat that she wore, it's like yes, I say yes.
Yeah, but you and I, but you had some different ideas about it, and that's why I thought it would be really good if you and me and Aaron did it together, because then we could, I might say, oh, I think that sucks, and you might go, no, but you hear me out here, and that's why I thought it would be a bit of a more balanced thing than just having me talk about it.
No, Aaron? I definitely.
I just thought of a name that we could call it. Actually,
okay,
like
what would
Game
be the
of
name?
Thrones. What would we call it? Game of Throws.
Game of Throws?
Yeah, like if we don't like it, we'll just throw it out.
Yeah, Game of Throws. Okay, we'll have to. Sorry, guys, I'm crying or something. Aaron, we'll have to brainstorm some really cool ideas. But and Aaron and I were saying we don't even know when the new season's coming out. It might not be till February.
I think it's like next summer, like summer 2019.
Well, you also gotta take into consider, it might air in America before it airs in Canada. It might air before it gets to Tatiana. So we have to wait a little while. You know what I mean?
I stream it anyway, so
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the day after I can get it, because I stream it anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you guys want to, okay. So I have like some pictures of yours, Tatiana, like, and then it'll be kind of going down memory lane for you. And Aaron, you can pipe in here. What
Oh
I'm
yeah,
going to
I
do.
love all of her designs. They're so cool.
Yeah. So we're going to do Tatiana. So right now, I'm going to put it onto like a slideshow mode, and then you're going to see it. And you're going to be, so you'll be able to, see, you know, go through it, and I'm going to show you what we've got here. Okay. Sorry. Oh, wait, I have to move it back to, sorry guys, hold on a second. I'm just going to move it back. Aaron, I pushed it forward. Remember when it was?
Oh yeah, because we got really worried. We didn't know where you were.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was worried.
I was making this happen.
She's making herself look beautiful. She was working the magic. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so I'll go here, and hopefully this is okay. And then you can tell me if you can see this or not. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, can everyone see this, by the way?
I can see it.
Aaron, you can see it. Can people in the chat see that?
I have no idea.
No, they can. I think they can. Okay, so I did a little header for you. There you go, Tatiana. Okay, so this is the first. This is, I think, one of the earliest ones we had. So, what do you want to say about this? Do you recognize this?
Wow. Yeah, I do. My Cersei armor dress.
Yeah.
This is basically what happens when I'm alone in my dorm room in England and really bored. And I think the season premiere of Game of Thrones was during that time. So I basically just started drawing and just went crazy. And honestly, I don't even know where half of what ended up in the design came from. I just threw it in there.
I'm not even sure if this is in the right order. Well, this is Cersei, obviously.
Yeah, it's Mad Queen Cersei.
I would love to do that costume, but it has so many details.
I love the details. This is one thing I find with Michelle Clapton, the designer. She tends to keep things very simple. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yes. But I love how Tatiana combined Cersei's crown and lion into the shoulder pads.
Me too.
That's so cool. I can see her seriously just riding in on like a black horse or something. Like about to whoop somebody's ass.
I like how you've kind of got her in more armor type clothing. I kind of like that.
Because it's like it's just in my head, like the more power she has, the more paranoid she gets, and the more paranoid she gets, the more like her father she becomes.
Yeah.
To the point where she even puts on armor like his. But since she's already dead, she gets it all black. And if you see like in the chest area, beneath the bust, they're like thorns, like vine with thorns. That to me that's like that was like a dig at the Tyrells, because you see their thorns but there are no flowers. Meaning they're all dead.
Because she killed all the flowers. Okay, I get that. That's really cool.
Yeah, she did actually. She had those, like, do you remember in season 7 she had those spikes on her neck? Like,
exactly.
I don't know. I
actually made that costume. I forgot to send you pictures. I'm a fool.
Okay, well you'll have to send me that. I have some of your pictures out. Okay, so we're gonna go to this one now. This one looks like who is this? Danny? Who is this?
Yeah, that's Daenerys. That's Daenerys Targaryen.
Okay. Yeah. So anyone in the chat, we're just going through Tatiana's costume designs that
I love the on the bodice and even on like the lower skirt before it goes to the dragon scale it looks like burnt design, but I also love how I think it's the hem of the skirt and on the inside it has a little fur trim in it.
It's basically what I was thinking about. This is I wanted her to look like a dragon. Yeah, that's why if the scale is basically chainmail. It will be chainmail, and it would be made out of gold and copper. Yeah, with maybe some onyx thrown in there. Just why not? And the part is like the busts and the I honestly I never remember the name of the thing.
The breastplate.
That goes on the leg.
The breastplate.
The thing that's
I think she's talking about the armor that goes above the legs.
Hip. That's around the hips. The black armor on the hips.
Yeah, the fog.
Yeah, the fog. Thank you. And I was just watching the Tyrion Lannister video. God. Yeah. And the fog. They're like hammered to make it look like a dragon skin without looking like dragon scales. Those very reptilian. And
the chainmail that you're talking about is actually called scale mail.
Scale mail,
And
yeah.
I recognized it. I recognized it immediately because I had to do one costume of it, and I almost like I seriously wanted to burn it.
Oh, by the
And-
way, Golf Princess, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, you can see the comments. That's great. Yeah. If you can't see that, Aaron, Golf Princess said that Tatiana's so talented. That's very nice. Oh, and and we'll say hi to Flash in the Pan.
right there.
Flash in the Pan just joined us, so we'll say hi to him. Hello.
Hi, Flash.
Flash.
And he's another creator. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. Oh, actually, the other thing before we leave, I love how you incorporated the Targaryen sigil into her costume. You got that on her armor as well. The sort of the swirling dragon.
Yeah, that took me like a good hour just to not fuck up because it was so tiny. I was like trying to like make it look like the actual sigil. It kept
Actually, what I noticed in the little costume design is that it's almost in a swirling kind of effect. Like if you look at the cape and you look at the lapels and everything and the armor, it's almost like swirling down towards her feet.
Yeah, everything feels like it's moving. I like that. Yeah,
it really does, like a dragon wing.
Before we move on to the next one, like the blue, since I remember in a video that you said that blue was a very important color to like the oh my god.
The Dothraki. Oh my god, see, I've forgotten that already.
For the Dothraki, yeah. For the Dothraki.
Oh, that is true.
Well, I wanted her to like keep like while she's embracing her Targaryen heritage, she never forgets where her roots, the basis of her power, which were the Dothraki.
Sort of where she's come
from. And her first husband.
Yeah, Drogo. No, sorry, what's his name again? I forgot.
Drogo.
Yeah.
Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo,
yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, because apparently the blue is like a mineral in Essos that they crush and make into like a pigment, which is what he uses to paint his body with, I guess. So, no, I love that. Yeah, and of course, when she's in Marine, she has that blue in her costume. No, I love it because
the fur is getting colder. That's when she goes to Westworld and it's getting colder. So that's why the fur.
Yeah, so it kind of makes Golf Princess is asking if those are culottes, which is like a split skirt. Is that what those are?
Yeah, it's basically what she more or less wears. I based it on some of her dresses. I think it was like the white dress she wears before she goes on Drogon for the first time.
Yeah, so it's split in the front. Yeah, so she can ride a dragon.
Exactly.
And it kind of makes me sad when I'm looking at this because like I just really, I understand where they're going with the color, like the draining of color and going to the blacks and everything, but it just makes me so sad that they have to do this. Like I was talking to my dad about this. I said, during the war, did everyone just abandon color and go with gray and black? He goes, no.
It's like not. That's the reason why I did the Cersei and then Danny thing because while Cersei is growing more dead inside, Daenerys, she's here to reclaim her. She's here to reclaim her family inheritance. She's here to claim her freaking throne. If she's going to come in, she's going to come in with a bang.
Yeah,
and a bang that nobody will ever forget. That's why.
She's got two dragons, so I believe that would be possible with the bang.
Yeah.
Well, but to me, I think she wouldn't want to be identified by just her dragon. She wants to be identified by her own merits, and that's why, by her own show of power, not just like fall back on her dragons.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go. Okay, this one's not Game of Thrones, guys. So this one is. You want to tell us about this?
The veil dress.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
I
love it.
This I made after I watched Beauty and the Beast, the remake, and I'm sorry for you out there that like this movie. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. It is such a disservice to the movie, to the original movie. The original movie was practically perfect. Yeah, it had a few plot holes here and there, but overall, it was perfect. It was the first animated movie to be nominated for an Oscar. People, come on. And basically, what I disliked most was Belle's dress in the.
You really did. I love that dress.
I'm sorry. I it's like objectively it's beautiful. It's pretty, but the thing is, it looks like a dress that I could wear to the Oscars.
Yeah,
it looks too modern. That it clashed with the rest of the aesthetic of the movie, and I just couldn't get over it. Like
I could see that.
Yeah, because it's definitely middle 18th century, like 1750s.
It's very Baroque. It's a very baroque style, and the dress just look way too modern. Like I could deal with the skirt if they pull it like a little bit a bit of a bump to like at least create a bit of silhouette to like suggest it, but still have the movement, because okay, I get it, the movement is it's a ballroom scene with dancing and everything, and I get it, but maybe just like a little bump to suggest the silhouette of the time. But what I hated the most was the bodice. The bodice, literally, you could cut that bodice from that dress, and I could wear it to college.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing is, you're talking about the form, and I find it funny that all of the females in the beginning of the film, whenever he's having that huge ball, they're actually wearing panniers and crinolines and everything, but she doesn't have one. And even in the cartoon, she had a petticoat on.
Yeah, and there was also, I'd read that the actress who plays her,
Emma Watson. She didn't want
corsets. She thought it was
she didn't want boning or something like that.
She didn't want it. She thought it sent a bad message to young women. But you know what? Then it didn't have that really nice. Like I was thinking more her other outfit, her blue one.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why they actually did that was because Lily James got so much flack in the Cinderella remake, but the thing is, that was an illusion, because when you have such a small waist and it's just a huge, dress, you're not going to see the waist.
Like this. Lily James is like this. She's naturally skinny.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, I think the whole Emma Watson thing is like, it's kind of a mixed bag, because you can on the one hand you can say, yeah, she's a feminist, she's trying to fight for feminist values, and no, the corset was technically a symbol of patriarchal values and stuff. But on the other hand, you can make an argument that, dude, you're making a period piece. Do it accurately.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, the corset existed. It was a thing. It no longer exists the same way it did then. I mean, it does kind of, but not like it was then. Be consistent. It's like you can make an argument for both sides.
No,
actually, the thing is that you can make an argument for both sides, but you remember at the end of the day, it's really the production team and the actor who really decides what they wear. So I believe that they could have made something kind of accurate to the timepiece. But I mean, I've worn crinolines before. I've worn petticoats before. I've worn a corset before for a costume. And believe me, it's uncomfortable, but you can make it comfortable.
Oh, honey,
it's one of those things where you just have to suck it up.
I was part of the ensemble for the first Puerto Rican production of Phantom of the Opera, and I had to wear like crinolines, and I had to wear and it was painful. Like for the masquerade dress, it was ironically the dress I wore was a dress that was made for a Belle for another production. Basically, they recycled Belle's dress for me. He's like, yes. But basically, I had to like suck it in so much I could barely breathe, and I had to sing.
See, I don't know. I've worn corsets before, and I like it. I like the feeling of wearing a corset, and I like the silhouette it gives you.
Well, I mean, it's basically it's almost like a good bra in a sense.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I can see how, and I've done shows where, the actors have had to wear corsets, and if it's a well-constructed corset, it will actually fit very nicely. Like, I think part of the problem is some of the times when if you're in a production and they give you a corset, and it's not made to measure to your body, then it's going to probably maybe not be the best thing. But honestly, if you have a corset that's made for you, you're going to love it. Like you will. So I just found that, I didn't really like that silhouette on Emma Watson. I just, it didn't work for me.
She honestly looked like a plank of wood in some, especially in the blue dress. It's like, honey, I get it. You're a feminist. You are fighting for female empowerment. More like all the best to you. But it's a period piece.
Well, I mean, the
You
same
can
could be
make an
said. Yeah, the
exception.
same could be said for Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh! Like, I mean, I am a very, is probably most people know I'm a feminist, and like Game of Thrones, I've had conversation with people where people are so furious about Game of Thrones, and I'm like, guys, it's like it's a period production. You know, there might have been some situation where it's like, oh, you know, I don't know if they necessarily needed to do that, but at the same time, like a lot of the stuff that's going on, you know, the oppression.
Well, I
of
mean, that's just like whenever they actually poked fun at that, and whenever oh, what's her name? Macy, Arya
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
watching that play, they were like, two women were like, this play is disgusting. I don't know why they produced this, but then
Yeah.
she said, then don't watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
I mean, it's been, they've also have given us some of the most incredibly strong characters as well.
Exactly.
You know,
It's like, yeah, Cersei wears a corset, but do you think she's weak?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and she does wear a corset. I saw, well, I don't know, with the new costumes, I'm not exactly sure what she's wearing under that, but I do know previously that her and Sansa were wearing corsets because I got a couple, well,
I think they're not wearing corsets. I think Dany's not wearing corsets anymore. I just think her costumes have boning in them.
They do.
You
Like,
know what I mean?
yeah, Michelle said that a lot of her costumes are built on a structure. You know, there's a base, like you say, there's boning, and I know Marjorie's wedding gown was built on top of some type of base that they slipped the whole thing over.
Yeah, you could very well say, and really a lot of Marjorie's dresses, because a lot since they were so low cut and open back, that she was not wearing a corset. She was was Dany and Marjorie, neither for me. I think neither of them wore corsets, or if they did, they wore very, very rarely. Unlike Sansa and Cersei, they because since they were following the fashion of the time, which was Cersei's fashion. Well, she wore actual corsets.
Yeah, and I mean
on top of that, she wore corsets and armor at season 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to be like, I think that they're supposed to be more modest, which is why she's sort of making fun of Marjorie, right? She's sort of
exactly.
That little jab.
She jabs at her, and Marjorie just is like, "Oh, I'll just like wear a little less every time," you know.
Like, honey, you can't deal with all this, woman.
Yeah, and
that
of course,
was funny. That little jab session talking about you must be cold, and she was like, "Oh, well, look at your armor; it just covers you completely."
Yeah, I know exactly. That was I love that scene. That's one of my favorite scenes. And then Joffrey's totally clueless, right? He doesn't know what's going on. He's just.
I think Joffrey just wanted his mom to shut up.
Mom, stop embarrassing me in front of the pretty girl. Stop.
I know, it's totally like that. It was so funny. That was actually one of more Joffrey's more human moments, I thought. A little bit more.
I didn't know Joffrey was human, but okay.
Well, he's not. He wasn't. Oh, 30-day reviews is here. Hi, 30 days. Hello. He's gonna.
Hi, 30 days.
So, okay, we're going to go to the next one here. Okay, so this is like a homage to season 7.
Yes.
So you're kind of riffing off the scale, the one that I felt looked like it was like burnt skin that was peeling off.
I call this my Cersei is completely corrupted, because I just remembered how much you hated that grayscale dress. It's like, how can I incorporate and I remember two things, that and how you talked about how Michelle Clapton's budget was more limited, so she had to recycle fabrics. Well, so I was let me think like Michelle Clapton and think, what can I do with the fabrics that I already have and make a new dress? And this is what I came up with. I love it. Basically,
I actually
love it so much.
It's sort of funny because you say that you don't sew, but you seem to have a pretty good understanding of seaming. I like how you have the seam coming from the neck and going across the bust and everything.
Well, part of that is thanks to you, and part of that is because I was a volunteer costume assistant in the costume department at the UPR at my university.
Okay.
So over there, I learned a lot of hand sewing, putting buttons, quick changing characters. Yeah. So I learned a lot from there too.
Yeah,
But
so I love that.
I have a little theory about why Cersei is wearing less and less armor. I think it's because she has literally nothing left to lose. She
Yeah,
really doesn't.
that's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good
Because,
point.
in season 2 or 3 or both, I can't remember, but she had like everything. You know, she had her family, she had her 2 sons, she had her daughter, but now,
And
you know,
Jamie.
she just well, yeah, Jamie, but you know, he was out of it for most of the part, and she had to
Yeah.
really it was really her children that she had to take care of because, you know,
Yeah.
now Jamie can't fight.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you guys think that Cersei is really pregnant?
I don't know.
A part of me,
I think it's more of a ploy. It was a ploy to keep Jamie on.
Cancer or something.
I don't think so. Or if she is pregnant, the baby is not going to be born. To me, that baby is not going to that baby is not going to be born.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think she'll lose the baby. If she is pregnant, I think she'll lose it, and that'll just be the final nail in the coffin. Yeah.
The Mad Queen will finally come out.
Yeah, and then in the opposite, of course, Dany would get pregnant. So it would be, you know, just sort of stoking the hatred all the more. Okay, so yeah, I love this, and also I like how the length of it, how you did it sort of just at the ankle. It's not a full length like Michelle likes to do that. She doesn't like to do them.
Yeah, but I remember that you said that with the new Cersei designs that she liked to show her feet because they were a show of strength.
It shows her strength.
That's why I did it shorter than her usual dresses.
It's interesting because I'm studying Japanese costumes, and the Japanese women, they wear it's probably most people don't know this, but they wear their dresses ankle length, so you see their feet. Oh, 30 Days says, I like the upside down flame pattern. Yeah, I like that too. Is that a flame? What is that supposed to be?
In a sense, it's kind of a flame because to me, it's like she's rotting from the inside out. That's why it started. The main part is in her stomach, in her womb, in her destroyed womb in a sense because her children have died, and it just goes up and up, and you see that there's like a lake that goes up to her heart.
Yeah,
that it is basically she's burning from the inside out, and she's just being spread by this disease that's basically symbolized by the grayscale.
It's kind of eating her alive.
And the thing that I noticed in Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm sorry, Tatiana. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. No,
and what I was going to say was.
Sorry.
Was their shoes. I know. Her shoes really evolved, and because back in the day she wore, I think they were mules of some sort.
Yeah, they were like a mule. Yeah.
And most mules, you know, they only go to like 3 inches, but now she's wearing like really like wedge boots, and also in Dany's case, you know, originally she
more
wore
practical.
Yeah, like more like riding boots, but now if you look at her costumes and her shoes, I love shoes. Shoes are my life, but you notice that her heels actually have a curve in them whenever she's talking with them. And I noticed that, and I was like, well, that makes sense because that way she can, you know, ride Drogon more easier so it can hook in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think, so I like that, that Michelle Clapton sort of keeps a lot of that in mind. Like, what are they doing? And I actually just saw this thing the other day she was talking about it, and I thought it was really important. She was saying that she wants them to have that sense of that they're wearing clothes and that, you know, there's a function to it as opposed to wearing like a costume, you know, and I do like that. So she always says Dany in pants, for instance, because she says Dany might need to just hop on the dragon at a moment's notice. So even if she's wearing a beautiful gown, underneath that, she's always got pants, which a lot of people, and
since she's always have to run for her life because there's always assassins around the corner. Yeah, it makes more sense that she's always ready to run.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I had something I was going to say about the Cersei costume, but I forgot. But I'll probably remember. So let's just go. We'll go to the next one while I'm trying to remember it. Okay.
Yes.
Now, is this Lyanna? Is this Lyanna?
Yeah, that's my mental picture of Lyanna.
I love it. It's so beautiful.
I love how you incorporated the lore with the whole, you know, the crown of flowers that started the whole thing.
Yeah, this is supposed to be her outfit. Dress. This is supposed to be her tourney outfit, isn't it? Is this her tourney outfit when she
I kind of wanted to meld. I wanted to meld both the north and the south because technically, since they're in the Riverlands, it would be like a moderate climate to me. It would be. So
Yeah.
I tried to like go with like the Grecian style of her wedding dress in Dorne, but keep the fur coat from the north.
Well, actually, the thing that
sorry,
I'm so
Aaron, I was
sorry.
going to say, I thought you designed this before the wedding, before we saw the wedding. Didn't you come up with this before that, or did you do this after the wedding?
No, this was after the wedding. Actually.
Oh, okay. So you sort of took some inspiration, because I thought this is the outfit that when she first met Rhaegal.
No, I think this will be more like the dance after turning. Because remember that when she met Rhaegar, she was most likely the Knight of the Laughing Tree, so she was dressed like a man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you incorporated the leaves into her kind of shawl / cape.
Exactly.
Yeah. And those are like the blue roses.
I also love the bohemian kind of Romanian hand jewelry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that. I love that too. You see a lot of that in Essos.
Exactly. Like I wanted her to like have like her own thing, because she's such a rebel.
Yeah.
Or she was such a rebel. But still keeping with like traditions. Because when you see like her statue in the crypts of Winterfell, like to me that's like how people wanted her to be instead of what she really was, because they could have seen her like this prim and proper girl, all wrapped up, but really she was a rebel. She did her own damn thing, however the hell she wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, also in the tournament, I don't remember if it was the hall where they were having the tournament, the night before, but I remember through the lore, she because Rhaegar actually sung the song so beautiful, and her brother was making fun of her, and she literally just took her goblet and like splashed it in all of his face and didn't say nothing else.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I wish we could see this scene. That would have been amazing.
Well, actually, they have like this whole entire YouTube series where they have it like slightly animated.
Oh, really?
And it covers like all of the lore. It even goes back to the War of the Green and Blacks.
Okay.
Where it was the Targaryens versus Targaryen.
Okay.
And it actually explains how the Mad King became mad.
Oh, wait. Oh, you mean the Dance of the Dragons?
Yeah, Dance of the Dragons.
War.
Oh,
yeah, the Civil War. Yeah, between, I think it was Rael. No. Oh, I
can't remember all their names, but yeah.
I know it was between Aegon's Aegon something and
it was his mother versus his sister, his older half sister.
I haven't read all the books. I don't know this, guys. You guys know.
I haven't either. Everything I know on the lore of Game of Thrones is YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let me explain this. This is the war that killed all of the dragons. That's why magic stopped being believed, because all of their dragons had died because of this war.
Yeah, because it was basically a war between these two factions, between a king and a queen. They were both vying for the throne, and it was so horrible. And at one point, the people of King's Landing burned down the dragon keep where the dragons were stored and killed the dragons inside. And he said that from then on, the dragons kept shrinking and shrinking and getting smaller and smaller until the biggest one was the size of a dog.
Yeah,
and then eventually they all died out.
Yeah, they did. They touched on that in the last episode, where they were looking at the skulls, I think, of the dragons.
Yeah.
Remember when
Tywin mentioned it. He said the biggest one was the size of a carriage, and the smallest one was the size of a house cat.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And that's real interesting.
Yeah. Oh, Golf Princess asks, Aaron, what is the name of that channel? Do you know it?
Oh, it's not really a channel. It's like just kind of leaked. Not really leaked.
I say Golf Princess. I think you should just look videos.
Just look up the lore. Just look up the lore. It's usually the first one.
Game of Thrones lore. I think it'll come up. And the best thing is that it's actually voiced by the actors from the show.
Oh yeah, like Peter Baelish. What's his name? Viserys even has a section.
That's awesome.
Stannis. I think
it has Tywin Lannister,
Marjorie,
and the thing is,
Sansa.
it doesn't. Yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't just cover before the war. It actually covers all of the families. Like, it explains how Littlefinger was named Littlefinger. It also explains why Tywin is such a hard.
Yeah.
You know, such a hard ass.
Oh wait, guys. So Angela Lover wants to know. Angel Over. I keep calling her Angela Lover. Do you watch any YouTube theory videos? I do. Do you guys?
Oh, I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, I like Emergency Awesome or alt. Is it Alt X? Alt Shift X.
All text. Yes,
Alt
I watch
X.
him all the time.
Yeah,
There was a
then,
YouTuber, and I
and then
haven't touched on his YouTube channel in a while. His name is Son of the Harpy.
Oh, that too. I also watch him too.
Yeah.
Oh, the last Harpy? The last Harpy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watch him too.
Yes.
And then of course my good friend Robert over at In Deep Geek. I don't know if you guys ever watch him.
I think I've seen a few. I'm not sure.
He is so good.
I also see Bats Productions that he does like a what if videos, like what if
Oh, like what if Sansa had pushed Joffrey off the bridge?
Yeah.
Or what if Aerys didn't go crazy? Or what if
if that's really cool.
died? Like, yeah, it's like
what if Tyrion was born like a normal person?
Wow,
like all kinds of
that's
stuff.
really fun. I like that. Yeah. So Tatiana, I've got another one of your drawings here. Do you see it?
Yes.
My
other Liana.
Oh, no, this is Liana. Sorry, yes, in her armor. And you got the blue again.
Actually, the thing is that whenever I look at this picture, even in the lore videos, they covered this girl. She's the first like bastard daughter of Robert Baratheon, and she actually grew up in the Vale. And I'm kind of getting that feeling with this costume.
Yeah. Oh, that's
like
interesting.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. This is definitely Stark armor, though. This is like Tatiana's done it just like Stark armor with they call it a coat of plate. Someone corrected me one day.
And they keep doing that belt design, and it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, yeah, they did it again.
It's funny because I was talking to somebody at a Viking event, and like this is how they do the Viking. This is Viking style, but she's like, well, there really wasn't that many other ways to do it. But yeah, they do. Every belt is done that way, Michelle Clapton.
I know. And
every belt. I think she sent out a memo to all of everyone on set. The belts have to be this way, otherwise.
Well, actually, the funny thing is, and the funny thing is, in the first season, all that fur was from IKEA, and it got to the point where they literally did a tutorial on how to do it. And I don't know, I'm getting kind of aggravated with the belts because it's almost like Jorah's damn shirt.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see something different. I know. Well, and she does. I think I said this in my last video. Once she sort of finds something she likes, she just keeps doing it.
Yeah, and I completely understand that.
And I guess it's just because just like one less complication to deal with, So, because I was like. She did a really great, I don't know if it was on, I don't know if you guys ever watched the Vanity Fair. They do a lot of YouTube videos interviewing people. So I think it was Vanity Fair. They just did an interview with her. It was weird because only maybe 400 people had watched it. And she just like, you know what? I really have to rely on a lot of my people, a lot of my team, because it's completely overwhelming. I can't even imagine what it would be like. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of costumes. Oh, Golf Princess says she loves In Deep Geek. He's wonderful.
Yeah,
he is.
Do you know Preston Jacobs? Do you guys know him?
I've heard of him. Yeah, I think
it sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar. The name. I'm pretty sure I've seen his videos. I used to remember which one they were.
I get like super geeking out. Like during Game of Thrones, I just totally geek out and watch every video I can get my hands on. It actually kind of drives me crazy after a while because I'm like, okay, I got to stop. I'm getting compulsive. But I sometimes get some insight, like if I have to do a video on something, I sometimes get some insight on it because I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I have no clue. So I'll watch an Emergency Awesome video, and he'll sort of like just make it very simple and explain it really easily to me, like, on a grade 4 level so that I can grasp it. Because sometimes I'm just like, I have no idea what's happening here.
Yeah. And it is, I understand because I'm the same way. Once you do something one way, you're really comfortable with it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And even like, that's just how it is on sets, like people are like, well, we made it this way, so it's more easier. And I completely understand that, but at least do something a little bit more like, because they always have it in the same damn place.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's funny. Well, and she probably doesn't even think that people like us who are just super like, zoning in, we're just like, zooming in on every little possible detail. She probably doesn't think that. And that we're going to just be like, what is going on here? So Golf Princess says she obsesses too, drives the husband crazy because I want to share what I've learned. Laugh out loud. I do. You know what? My husband's into Game of Thrones, so he doesn't mind if I'll rant on for like, hours about stuff on Game of Thrones. We'll just kind of go back and forth with each other.
That's the main reason why I watch movies now, is just to look at the costumes, especially because of your channel.
Yeah,
me too. Basically, I haven't watched Phantom Thread yet, but I want to see it just so I can see the costumes.
No, I haven't seen it either. I'm gonna watch it. Like I was saying to somebody the other day that I'm usually like 3 months behind on most movies. Like I haven't seen Solo yet, or I'm always behind or the latest.
I haven't seen like none of the ones that have come out recently. I have not seen like none.
No, me neither. We are gonna go see The Incredibles this week. Because
I love The Incredibles.
Yeah, my kids are really into it. So we are gonna go do that this week. So if there's a new kids movie that comes out, oftentimes 30 Days says, I haven't watched any Game of Thrones, but I pay attention to costumes now. Aww. That I've been on here every week. Laugh out loud. Oh, 30 Days. What do you watch? 30 Days is another creator. He I've mentioned this to you before, Aaron, that he does videos where he tries out a product for 30 days and then he does a review on it. Mm-hmm. And I think they sometimes send him products like grooming supplies and that type of thing.
And actually, the funny thing is that usually in the chat we have like discussions, or we'll like if somebody asks a question, and I know you don't mean to do it because you're talking to people and you can't you can only pay so much attention. We'll actually try to answer their questions.
Yes. Yeah. I do that on other channels I go on to, because I go on to some other creator channels, and sometimes honestly, Aaron, it's really hard to do the video and then like you guys are probably experiencing this now, but try to read the comments and then try to do the video at the same time. So
yeah, and that's why, when you first started live streaming, that's why I messaged you and I said, hey, if you miss a question, I will always write it down and I will like email it to you later. So like in another video, you can like, answer it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, Jack, who's my husband, he suggested, he goes, why don't you, after the stream, just, you can actually go through it now. Like you can watch the stream and then go through. They didn't do this before. And you can actually look at the comments, because there were a few times where I'd missed things that people had said. And I'm like, oh my God, I missed it. Or, I just wanted to say thank you for people who were coming. So you can go and check out who was there. So it's actually really cool that YouTube does that now.
Well, you also got to remember there is at least like a 5-second delay whenever somebody hits the send button.
Yeah, that was the first thing that was the weirdest part about doing this for me.
Yeah, like you would ask me a question and I noticed you would wait for a response and I'd be like, I just sent that to her like a minute ago. You know?
Exactly. Oh,
but Angel, no, I always try to stay on top of that, like the best I can.
Yeah. So Golf Princess says she's going to see Ocean's 8 tomorrow. And Angel Over says, I love that white dress and Phantom Thread. I haven't seen the movie, but I love the trailer. So I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to, it's set in the 50s, I think, Aaron. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. I've never even, like, I'm not trying to like drag it or anything, but I've never even heard of that before.
You haven't heard of what?
I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. What happened? Did you drop out?
Can you guys hear me?
No. Am I here?
Hi.
Did you drop out, Tatiana?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear
you. Me?
I try not to. Now? Okay. Yeah, that was getting weird on my end. Can you see me now?
No, you're just kind of coming in and out.
Yeah, you sound a little robotic. Is your connection working?
Why don't you log off and then you can log off and then re-log on.
How do I do that? I don't know how to.
You just got to end a call. You just got to end a call and go back into your email and just click it again and say accept call.
No, I think you're fine now. Talk.
Now, hello, hi.
Yeah, no, you sound fine. No, you sound fine. Aaron and I were just talking and we didn't notice that you had.
It's like, oh my God.
But
dropped out.
But no, I will watch Phantom Thread. It's just, with the orders and everything. Like I didn't even know Avengers Infinity War had come out. Like I was literally looking at my phone, so it was like spoilers, and I was like, oh God.
Oh yeah, 30 Days asked me, did you watch that link I sent you for Mortal Engines? I did. So do you guys know that movie? It's
yeah, I saw the preview. It looks awesome.
It does look awesome. So that's Guillermo del Toro. It's the
Of course.
director.
What was it?
It's called
Guillermo del
Mortal
Toro.
Engines. It's basically England, but it's on like a moving vehicle. It's like London. They've taken London. They've taken the city of London and put it on a moving vehicle.
On a giant car.
Yeah, on a
basically.
car.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of that one or seen it. Like, here's the thing.
It's
Like,
based on
I'm
a
always
novel. I know that
behind.
much. It's based on a series of novels.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Well, Aaron, it hasn't come out yet. It's just they just had just the trailer came out.
Watch the trailer. Is really awesome. It's really
The
cool.
trailer, yeah. So it's called Mortal Engine. So 30 Days had sent me the trailer.
Is this the Hotel Artemis that he kept trying to talk to me about? But I was like, I don't know.
That movie is about like a criminal hospital for criminals.
Yeah, no, that looks
okay.
good too. Yeah, 30 Days is saying the
Jodie
costumes look.
Foster.
Yeah, Jodie Foster. Yeah, 30 Days is saying the costumes look amazing in Mortal Engines because it's sort of dystopian, sort of like a futuristic.
It's very sci-fi.
Kind of
It's like,
like steampunk.
I always try, because here's the thing, like half of the movies and TV shows that you've done on your channel, I have never seen before, but I will always click on one of your videos. Doesn't matter.
Well, I get so many requests.
Actually, I watched Crimson Peak because of your video.
Oh, what'd you think?
Oh, I did the same thing too.
What'd you think, you guys?
I loved it.
I liked it. It's like, I can understand why some people didn't like it because it was like marketed wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really was.
At least over here, it was marketed as like a horror movie, but it's really just a romantic.
It's like a murder mystery.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
A romantic thriller thing.
Yeah, I love the styling on it though. It's incredible. Like the movie itself, I thought was okay, but the styling on it, I think is amazing.
The costumes were,
I don't mean to be rude, but we completely negated the picture that's still up.
You what?
I said we completely got off track again.
No, I know. No. Okay. So do you guys want to go back to the pictures here? This is
let's try and like let's try and do like the pictures, and then after we wrap everything up, then we can start talking about movies. Because if we start talking, all three of us,
I know. We're
like college friends.
We need a tangent monitor. So 30 Days says I started to watch Pinky Blinders. Need to get back to that. Oh, that's a really good show, guys. Okay.
Oh, I wanted you to do a video about that show because I love it so much. The costumes there are crazy.
Yeah,
amazing.
I am going to, but I think I've only watched 4 episodes. So I have to finish at least season 1 before I can do a video. But no, I love it. I love it. It's really good. So, okay. So Tatiana, talk to me about this. That everyone who is a Game of Thrones fan will appreciate this.
Well,
can you see it?
This is basically, I can see it. Basically, that's my humble contribution or my humble interpretation of Dany and Jon's wedding outfits.
Yeah.
For the very optimistic, happy ending where they all win and all the bad guys die and all the good guys live and they get married and rule the kingdom and everybody's happy and gay.
Yeah. I love that. But George Martin doesn't believe in happy endings.
Exactly.
He really doesn't.
So I love it too.
The happiest you're gonna get is if a dog lives. That's basically all his thing is.
We might get a wedding.
Maybe
so if we don't have a happy ending, but we have a wedding, would you like to see her wearing a red gown?
Yes, I actually, because it's like with like the wedding, I like seeing her like fully embracing her true Targaryenness, and there's still a little bit of blue, but like not much. It's like underneath, especially since she's getting married.
Yeah,
but she's full on dragon in this.
Yeah,
that's why she has like the scaled bodice and the wings at the end have scaled tips.
It's almost like a yin and yang.
Yeah, it is, and I like the cape.
I was working on that.
I like the cape looks like wings.
Exactly. I fashioned that after her outfits in her white outfits from Essos from Marine.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. And then you've got the pleated skirt. 30 Days says your drawings are really nice. She has the fabric drooping well down. I think he means the draping. I think that's what he means, right?
Right. I love it so much.
Yeah, I love it. And John's
it's such attention to detail.
I like John's crown. What's going on with John's crown? What is that?
Oh, well, in John, it was kind of different because I was considering that he's like the best of both worlds, both Targaryen and Stark.
Yeah.
I tried to like do a mix of both.
Yeah. It's great.
That's why
I see the dragon wings kind of wrapping around like as it goes up. But for like a split second, I don't know why. I know it's a wolf on the front of the crown, but it looked like a capuchin monkey for like a split second.
That just shows you how well I can draw animals.
I can't see it because I'd have to zoom in. I don't know if I can zoom in here. I can't. I'm gonna have to look at it later, like close up.
I also like how we all have our glasses on.
I know. We're all wearing glasses. You know what's funny? I think pretty much every guest I've had has worn glasses. It's like a requirement of the show. You have to wear glasses. You have to wear glasses to be on the show. No, it's true. I think I think pretty much everyone has, except for maybe Kristen. Okay, but I'm going to go to this one because this is so great. Now, I don't know if Aaron's seen this show. Aaron,
is it Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yeah.
He knew right away.
I have not seen it, but I recognize it immediately.
You did. That's amazing, eh?
It's just because it's a show that I want to watch, but I can't.
It's so great. You know what? Honestly, I would have worn that dress to my prom. I would have totally worn it. I love it. I love it. It's because it takes.
Oh, she also has a little symbol on her little belt or a little brooch on her belt.
Yeah, that's a rose. That's a gold rose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched the show that much.
I don't think she has a
She's
symbol.
like a huge fan.
She doesn't use. It's just that I have a thing for like flower language.
Yeah.
I like I use flowers a lot in my costumes because I have like a thing for flower language, and like each flower means something, and I don't remember what the yellow rose meant. I have to look it up. But I know that it was like very fitting for her, and it just went with the entire aesthetic. So that's why it shows it.
And the yellow rose is the color of the Targaryens as well, even though this is a different show. But I like how Mike he's and that color purple was very popular in the 80s. So
exactly.
Is that magenta? That's not what color is that? I can't really tell. I have my brightness down.
Sort of a grape purple. Like
really, because on my screen, it almost looks like a mix between violet and magenta.
It's very purple. I'd say it's kind of a violet purple. Yeah. And then Mike's
because
wearing
I had to take my glasses off.
Mike's wearing like a gray tuxedo and then a yellow. He's tied into her with a yellow.
It's like a grayish brown.
Grayish brown.
Yeah.
Which is very 80s.
Yeah.
Well, actually, whenever I saw. And I don't know if we ever mentioned this, but in her drawings, it almost looks like some of the material is like silk taffeta, where it's almost different colors.
Yeah,
like, and different kind of lights.
Yeah, it does look like a moire, which is like a watermark. Is that what you mean? A watermark, like moire. Yeah. Moire is like a watermark silk taffeta. 30 Days says, this is really interesting. He says, yellow roses send a message of appreciation and platonic love without the romantic subtext of other colors. That's actually
friendship.
Really good.
That means French.
The color represents feeling of joy and delight, which is really good because, you haven't seen the show, but I don't know if 30 Days has, but Aaron, you haven't seen the show, but they do have a really wonderful friendship. And, I didn't even know if I even needed it to be romantic between the two of them. I think I was just happy with them having a good, close friendship.
I did ship them, though. I did really ship them together because they were just so freaking adorable.
They're so cute. I know.
But yeah,
I think that's the same actor in the It movies.
It is. You can tell just by looking at the drawing.
Yeah, I love that. I love how the hair is so similar to how his actual hair is.
Tatiana, he's in the It movies as well. The little boy who plays Mike.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
A little bad mouth one.
I saw both It and Stranger Things. It's like, well, I saw It before watching Stranger Things, but it's like I got to get the hair right.
Yeah,
I have to get the hair right.
He's got great cheekbones. He's gonna grow into like a handsome man. Okay, we're gonna go this one. I haven't seen this show coming up here. This is probably the only show that you've done a drawing for. I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, this is from Riverdale. This is Miss Cheryl Blossom.
I love Riverdale.
Dude,
so
we are
Aaron,
so well.
Aaron, do you know which character this is then? Because I don't.
Yes, this is Cheryl Blossom. She is the queen bitch.
She wearing glasses? Is she?
No, she doesn't wear glasses.
Oh, okay.
She's
sorry.
too cool for glasses.
But no, her main theme is if it has a cherry on it, she's gonna own it because her family. It's actually funny because she embodies cherries so much, but her family is actually like a maple syrup trade, and it's really funny.
Yeah, I love this dress. It's amazing with the cutout panels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
is that my
actually it looks like almost like a circle skirt design, but it looks so cool cut to where it has like no seams in it. Like, but seriously, like if this was not tied to Riverdale, I could seriously see this as Game of Thrones, but I also like how the material is sheer in between the panels. You actually see her legs.
No, I like that too. It's very sexy.
For me, my idea for this was like for Cheryl when she's like in her 20s and she just wants to kill, and she's like the femme fatale. Yeah, because she's such a femme fatale. Like,
I like her hair.
I just had to.
And she's a like a very a redhead, obviously.
No, she's like full on redhead.
Full on redhead.
She really is. Like it looks like she dyes it constantly.
Does she wear pink? Now, does she wear pink on the show?
Yes.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
I love when redheads wear pink. Like Molly Ringwald did that in the 80s. She was one of the first redheads to make that
Pretty in Pink. That movie is so hilarious.
Yeah, because up to that point, they used to say redheads shouldn't wear pink, and I never wore pink, right? And then after that movie, I was like, I'm wearing pink.
I know Molly Ringwald gave like the middle finger to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is fantastic. So I'll have to check that show out.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's because in that show is basically has like a 50s modern aesthetic. It's like
actually
50s and modern.
The funny thing is that in the 70s and 80s, I think they actually did have a Riverdale comic book, and this is loosely based off of it.
It's like very loosely.
Isn't it based off of Archie? Isn't it Archie?
Yeah, Archie, the Archie comics.
Archie comics, yeah. But so it's very loosely based off that.
It's a very darker version of it. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. So honestly, like I never really read it. I mean, I knew a little bit about it and I knew people who read it, but I never really was into that. But yeah, so it's sort of a contemporary version of that then, I guess.
Yes. And it's actually funny because in the styles, you can actually see like it's in the 70s, it's the 80s, but it's much more modern.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So now we have, so this, you did this costume after I released my, my Outlander, and I had, and if anybody doesn't know how to say it, it's Leary is how you say her. Leary. It's looks like lug hair, but it's Leary. It's Gaelic. And when I did it, I love the video, I loved Outlander, but you remember me talking about Leary's costumes. I hated them.
Yeah.
I remember that in her video.
So Tatiana had sent this to me after she did it. And, I shared this with the historian. I interviewed that historian. I shared this with her. She really liked it. She thought your costume. Yeah, she loved it. She thought it was really, really nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm overlooking it or not, but on her little cap sleeves, I can't tell if that's honeycombed or just pleated.
I think it's just pleated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, they wore like these. They wore like a little blouse underneath, so that would be like her blouse.
The chemise.
The chemise, exactly. And then she has the bodice there, and then now. Why did you add the zigzags? I forgot. You told me there was something behind that.
Well, since basically she goes to because it's a trial dress when Claire is being tried for witchcraft. And she goes to testify against her. And since she basically thinks mistakenly that if she kills Claire, Jamie will magically fall in love with her, which dumbass. Well, she's going out there out of pure hatred and jealousy, and I wanted to like give her this outward look of pure innocence of the poor victim that was tricked by the evil witch, but underneath, I want to show that anger, and that's why the spiky zigzag lines.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what I like is that you chose the color green because green has always been associated with envy. Going green with envy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because and on the show, like her dresses, I've been like I was having some issues with it. I think a lot of it's the lighting. I think one of her dresses is green, but it's so dark you can't even see. It's almost
It's just like Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah.
they'll put filter upon filter of it. It really
Yeah,
is.
it's just so it's just everything is drained out of it. And but one of the things I say is when you're designing something, you have to kind of keep that in mind. Like if you know that the production is going to be draining all the color out, you probably have to punch up the color. But that scene actually is done in the courtroom and it's not that dark. So I just thought her costume, like I love the idea and I love the way you did her hair. It's sweet, because she is supposed to be young. She's supposed to be maybe like 16.
Yeah. Like
And then Claire is supposed to be the mature, she's supposed to be like in her 20s. So
yeah, she's like the grown woman versus the envious little girl.
Yeah. Aaron, have you seen Outlander?
Yes, me and Genevieve used to watch it, but
that's right.
After recent events.
How far along? How far did you guys get?
The beginning of season 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm not completely in the dark.
You're not completely in the dark. Okay. So next here, now we were going to talk about this. This is a project that you worked on that you independently did this project. So you want to tell us a bit about this?
Well, basically, I was really bored one day and decided, you know what? As a personal project, why don't I design a play?
Yeah.
And I chose a Puerto Rican play called Los Soles Truncos, which in English means the truncated suns. And it's by Puerto Rican playwright René Marquez, who is basically like, I don't know, the Tennessee Williams of Puerto Rico.
Okay, yeah. Is he still alive?
Oh, no, he's dead. He died a long time ago. He died during the 50s. He's long as dead.
Okay.
I love that response. Is he still alive? No, he died a long time ago. Okay.
He's totally dead.
He dead.
And
I love the cut of it.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's really
it's almost like it looks like almost like an A style costume, but it has lay-in pleats just a little bit.
Yeah, so what's the period of this? Or is it period?
This would be to give you like a small backstory of this a small synopsis of the story. It's about these two elderly sisters that have fallen into poverty, into extreme poverty, and basically the only thing they have is each other and their house in San Juan. And their third sister, which was the middle child, she just died of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And basically the play opens with them cleaning the house so they can have the funeral, so that the next day they can take the body away to be buried.
Okay. I can see why you mean it's like a Tennessee Williams type.
Yeah.
Playwright. Yeah. It's not it's kind of a sad story.
It just opens immediately sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And basically throughout the day and throughout the play, they reveal like family secrets and old jealousies, and how these women, because of tragedy, because they face a lot of loss of tragedy. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but basically because of their own stubbornness and their
arrogance in a way,
their inability, or they're just not wanting to adapt to the times. They have fallen behind, and they're basically frozen in time.
Okay. Like,
for example, like the story is set in like the 1940s or 1950s.
Okay.
But psychologically and emotionally and mentally, they're stuck in like the turn of the century, at most the 1910s.
Yeah, which is why you can sort of see that in the costumes.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just like with Crimson Peak, how she wears older dresses because she wants to keep that contemporary look alive.
Yeah.
And also because they're dirt poor.
Yeah, so exactly. She can't afford to have something made.
This character, the character we see in the picture, her name is Hortensia, and she's the middle sister that just died. She comes back in the form of memories, because they're reliving their memories of the times that have changed their lives. Like, for example, this is her mourning dress because an important family member has just died.
Okay. Yeah.
And she has this with the youngest sister, and they have like this. It's honestly, if I talk about this story anymore, we'll be here all night.
Okay. So
it's a complex story.
I am interested. I am interested to hear it sooner or later. You know,
this is beautiful.
You should like look it up because it's like one of my favorite plays. It's like it's really, really good.
Oh my God! Look at all the pleating.
Oh, it's amazing.
This is the wedding dress that she never wore. Basically. Okay. Why?
Oh, that's so sad.
She like. Heidi knows because I kind of told her in the emails when I sent these, but no spoilers, Heidi.
Yeah, no. This is so beautiful, though. I love it.
Yeah, this is. I know that the neck, the area of the neck, I have to fix that because it looks too 80s. Because this is supposed to be like the 1890s, but But I kind of fudged it up, and I don't know why my brain went 80s and like did this in lace instead of like muslin or
actually something that's interesting is that for some reason when I look at this dress, number one, it's beautiful. Yeah. And also it some reason reminds me of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I was thinking the same thing. That is so funny. I was thinking the same thing when she wears that big ruff, right? Is that what you're talking about?
That big old Elizabethan, like it would have made like William Shakespeare put to shame.
Yeah, and because it is the same time period where it's loosely
around the same time period.
It's around the same time period. I love this dress. I love the zigzag, chevron-y pleating.
I can't tell if it's a overlay.
It looks like it's,
but it is beautiful.
Isn't it? It does. Tears? Tatiana, is that tiers of lace? Like layers, or is it no one piece of fabric?
It's pleated. It's a pleated. It's I think it's like a sun pleat, was it? Or maybe like an overlapping
like a dagger pleat.
I honestly I suck at names. Right?
I love it. Names. It's beautiful. Okay, let's go on. Okay, here. This is so beautiful.
God. Yes.
That's actually a dress that they mention a lot in the play. That's the famous blue silk dress that she wears to the last ball the family went to before bad things happen, and that's where she meets her fiance. That, well, let's just say didn't last.
Yeah. So this is happier times.
Yeah, this is happier times, and she was like the belle of the ball, basically.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. You've got that silhouette down really nicely.
I also like the history that she put into the costumes because back in those days, I don't know what happened. I think this is when her corsets really started going out of style, and even back then they would do the same thing. They would always wear almost like not really a belt, but something to kind of cinch the waist.
Yeah, it nips in the waist a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also like how I just like the vibrance of the colors, and you can tell that she just like did like a quick twirl.
It looks like it's got that movement. I love it. The movement you've got in that picture. It's just gorgeous, and the color's beautiful. It's sort of that cornflower blue.
Tatiana, I don't know, but for some reason it might be on my end, but your the beginning T just keeps popping up.
There now.
Okay.
See one now. Yeah. Okay. My phone started acting weird now.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see you, no problem. Okay.
Oh my God, I love it.
Isn't this amazing? I know.
Is the chiffon, the lace,
gorgeous. This feels like something. Sorry, go ahead, Tatiana.
No, I basically got this from like pictures that I found from the Met, from the different things I found from the Met that. Honestly, again, thank you, Heidi, for the suggestion because I was very lost. Like I didn't know where to look.
The Met is great. They have a really good like online collection of historic, and a lot of them you can download the pictures and stuff too.
Actually, I just realized something, Heidi. Do you remember a while ago I sent you an almost chiffon tea gown?
I have that picture. I have it.
It almost looks completely the same.
Wasn't it like a what's the name of? Was it like a Sleeping Beauty dress that I think Heidi said
That
in the
one.
last?
That one,
There's
but it's
one.
also
There's an actual
another
tea
one.
gown. Yeah, it's a wrap style. But this doesn't this look like something that you might see on an old Hollywood film? Like you would see.
I imagine Vivian West wearing something
Yeah.
like this.
Totally. I was
Or
thinking
Vivian Lee.
like sorry wrong. Yeah, Vivian Lee.
Oh,
Exactly.
my bad. Whoops.
Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant, Vivian Lee?
Yeah.
Like on with the
Yeah.
wind. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you got her confused with Mae West.
Mae West.
or like Joan Crawford,
Joan Crawford. I was thinking
but
that's
like in black.
like a film noir kind of, that sort of 1930s. I love it.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. This one looks like a beautiful tea gown.
It is.
Oh yeah.
I love your colors.
Thanks.
I love the draping and the ruffling all around the shoulders and also the sleeves, and just how it's capped right there at the elbow, so it gives that little
I love
poof.
it. Like the cascade. You got that beautiful cascade.
The thing is with Hortensia, she was basically the most beautiful of the three sisters.
Yeah.
And she knew it. So she always had like the best gowns, the best everything.
Yeah.
And this outfit in particular, because she's known, at least in the play, she's known for the color blue. Because the truncated, I don't know if you know what truncated suns are.
No.
But in like Spanish architecture, the windows at the top, there's like half suns, and they're usually colored on top of the windows.
Like in stained glass?
Like
glass
stained glass, kind of, sort of, yeah. There,
sure.
if you look up,
That's what I got from this dress.
It does look like stained glass.
And she's known for the blue.
And
She's
also like
beautiful,
I also like how you incorporated different colors and vibrance of purple, but also in blue. Like I can see lilac and plum and a little bit of grape.
Yeah,
and I love it so much.
And also then when you have the blue coming through the sheerness of the purple, it almost creates a third color. That's really.
It's almost. This reminds me of like a much more classier version of Lily James's dress from the Cinderella, because it had lilacs and it's almost like a pastel painting.
Oh, we've got a few new people here. We've got OTDA says, "What's good, y'all? Just got out of another stream. Came to visit." I think he's saying to visit. And it's
hi.
And Proto Peach says, "I followed OTDA here. Hello, guys. Thanks so much for coming. We're talking about costumes here. Tatiana, I've got my two guests, Tatiana and Aaron, and we're going through Tatiana's portfolio, and she's just showing us some of her stunning designs that she's done.
Just so you know, if you notice the like sparkly silver on some of her dresses, like the wedding dress, it's like silver. Yeah, I didn't have like silver watercolor, so I used nail polish.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really clever idea.
Hey, that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it.
You know what I think we used? You can I think actually it's what's the name of the company? Sharpie. They now do metallics as well. Ooh. So you can even go over top afterward with like silver or gold or metallic.
And Golf Princess, thank you for doing all my designs.
Actually, I have another little hack for you. If you want your pictures to have a little bit more pop in it, and it's gonna sound completely crazy, either coat over it lightly with Mod Podge or clear nail polish, because it gives it that glisten.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. I've used we call it it's Mod Podge, right? I don't know what you call it, Tatiana. Do you guys have something like that? You get it at craft stores.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know if I have any, but I've heard of it. Yeah, I think I've seen it in like art stores.
Well, I'm glad you're not doing it. Well, and it's funny because I think it was one of the viewers had said at the beginning you were doing some of your drawings on striped paper, like lined paper, and they're like, "Don't do it on lined paper." So you stopped doing that.
Honestly,
that's good.
The only reason why I did that is because it was the only thing I had. I was literally taking paper from a notebook I used for class because I was in England. I was in an exchange program in England, and I basically just took my class notebook, flipped it over, and started drawing from there because I didn't have any watercolor paper, and I was not going to buy expensive paper in England.
Yeah. 30
actually.
days. Okay.
Sorry.
30 days was saying you could also just spray with a clear coat. That's a good point. Because some of them, the problem with some of them is they'll yellow. So if you get one that doesn't yellow, I actually have one here. Hold
Well,
on.
also it's the smell.
Yeah, I have one here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's called spray lacquer, and you can spray it over top of your project. I don't know if you guys can see this.
I can't see it.
Can't see. Oh, because you know what?
You're still on the slideshow.
Oh, it's on the slideshow. That's why. Here, sorry, hold on a second. Yeah. I don't know how to do this now. Oh, well, it's okay. I'll show you at the end. Okay, so let's go to this one here. You know what? This is actually my favorite of these costumes.
The green.
I want that shawl. I want that shawl. I want it. I love
it. Has a hint of purple too. Or
I'm really into macrame right now, so I want
red.
I want that shawl. It's so stunning, and I love green with the red. It's beautiful.
I can't tell if it's my glasses or my screen, but I can't tell if it's purple.
It's brown, isn't it?
Where it gets.
It's red. It's vivid red.
Oh, the skirt is red, but this, you mean the cincher? What are you talking about?
Towards the tassels where it separates into another material.
I think that's brown, isn't it, Tatiana? The shawl, it's kind of a gray brown.
No, it's supposed to be black.
it's black.
Yeah, it's black.
Okay. I was like fixing my glasses. I was like, huh?
Yeah. But I love that green. Like, I love it. Actually, Aaron has a costume that we're gonna look at quickly. We'll have to start moving along here. That is in that green, Aaron, that beautiful taffeta skirt that you made.
Oh yes, that one was a
brilliant green.
That thing was a pain in the ass. I wanted to burn it.
Yeah, I love this so much though.
Like this character in particular, she's her name is Inez, and she's the older sister. And if you compare her to the previous sister, you can see there's a few differences. Yeah. A few subtle differences, maybe in the skin tone somewhere, maybe.
If she's darker.
Basically, she's basically like
she's not Blanca, basically.
Basically. She's basically like the black sheep of the family in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Because
do they have different parents or something?
No, they're all of them are the same parents. It's just that
Hereditary is funny because I'm Ecuadorian and Cuban, and the thing is that you could be Cuban and Ecuadorian, but you could be like the pastiest white ever.
Yeah,
exactly. Like I'm from Puerto Rico and I'm white as hell.
You're quite fair. Yeah, so she's just darker than this, and the other sister also has blonde hair, right?
No, so she because Hortensia, she's supposed to be like the perfect example of the perfect European woman, or the perfect because their father he's German.
Oh, okay.
And their mother is Spanish, so they're supposed to be like the perfect Aryan parents. But from her mother's side of the family, there is more blood, Muslim blood. The Moors. Yeah, but Moorish, they don't. But there's like a stain on the family, so nobody wants to make it known. No one wants to admit it. Yeah, that's why basically Inez is like the stain on the family, or at least that's how she sees herself.
So it's kind of like the whole whenever Khloe Kardashian was younger, because all her other sisters were very tan and she was very tall.
Yeah. And fair.
Basically,
yeah. Okay. Also, I love the stitching detail also on her.
Oh, I know. I did
too. The little, oh God, I forgot. Almost like a princess seam and around the collar, and also at the bottom of the skirt, but also on the caps of her sleeves.
Yeah, I love that too. That would be like embroidery, wouldn't it? Would that be?
Actually, it's like a diamond pattern. On the diamond embroidery. Yeah.
Also, if you notice on the sash, it's actually a combination. I don't know if she meant to do this. It's a combination of the bottom embroidery and the embroidery on her blouse. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a perfect blend, like a marriage.
A nice marriage, yeah. I like that. Well, she's got because she's picked up the red. She's got the red in the skirt, and I like that red. It's sort of like it's not a super dark red. It's sort of a brighter red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing is, I wanted to make like a distinction between the sisters. Like Inez, she's dark because if you see her other costumes, they're darker.
Yeah.
This is the exception, but that's why she has the black shawl. Hortensia, she's more brilliant. She has like this brilliant colors. And if you see the third sister, which I'm guessing is coming later, she has more pastel colors. She's more light.
Yeah.
But in this one, because in the context of the scene, because in this scene, Inez is confronting Hortensia about a secret that basically ruins her life. I'm not gonna say what it is. But basically,
Yeah.
since she always saw herself like in her sister's shadow, in this one scene where she tears down her sister with this secret, with this confrontation, for a second she goes to the same height. She goes, or either she goes to the same height as her sister, or she pulls her sister down to her level for a second before Hortensia knocks her back down to where she's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Okay.
That's why.
I love her. I love how her blouse and her skirt. I like how her blouse and her skirt are actually from two different periods, because that skirt is very 1920s. Because I can see where you have the pockets.
Actually, I was going more for 1900s.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks to me, Aaron, it looks turn of the century, but if it was shorter, for sure.
Yeah,
but the silhouette,
it's just like the top of it.
It's exactly the flap. You mean with the buttons?
Yeah, it's almost like a little booty flap, but it's sort of front.
Yeah, it's kind of I think they borrowed from like the sailor. It was like a sailor.
Oh yeah, because they really went to the sailor style over in England.
Yeah, so it was. So that's what I would say. I mean, at this time they were sort of moving away from like the bustle and all that. So it was just sort of a bit of a smoother. They might have had a bit of a train at the back, but
not really a lot, just a little bit.
I kind of got to be completely honest, I kind of got confused between the 1890s and 1900s. Yeah, that's why they're so similar.
Yeah, so basically, once the bustle is gone, you're pretty much moving into turn of the century, like 1900. 1890s is more like, this is like Dolores in Westworld. That's sort of the shape of the skirt.
Well, actually, the thing is, I don't know. I just like her how she draws, is because
it's beautiful. Yeah.
It's almost timeless. Like I could see somebody wearing it today.
Well, like
maybe the skirt a little bit shorter.
Totally. I would wear that shawl today. I love that shawl. Seriously,
right?
I would. I love it. I'm really into macrame right now. We did this thing on Twitter. It was so much fun. I didn't do it every day. It was called macrame, where we would tweet pictures of macrame.
It's funny. It's funny because the shawl, the fringe.
The fringe.
I actually did a play. I was actually in a play in college called Blood Weddings. I don't know if you heard of it. It's from Federico Garcia Lorca, which is like the greatest poet / playwright of in Spain.
Okay.
In the 20th century. He's like a beloved figure over there.
Uh-huh.
And he's one of my favorite playwrights, period. And in one of the scenes, I wore a green shawl with a green fringe, and I basically got my inspiration for the fringe from that costume.
Yeah, and these shawls actually, you guys might not know this, but these shawls. Well, you saw my my Crimson Peak. These shawls would be called piano shawls. They oftentimes would put them on the piano just to sort of decorate.
Exactly.
But oftentimes it'd be beautifully embroidered, and then they'd have this beautiful.
And most of the time, they would use it to kind of cinch up tea gowns at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, or just like if they just wanted a little bit more coverage or whatever. But so, like for instance, in Crimson Peak, she's just wearing it when she's about to have her bath, right? Because she doesn't want to be completely uncovered.
Yeah, and the thing that I love is
Crimson Peak. Sorry,
but they would wear this so that they actually had their chatelaines.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know if Tatiana, if you know what a chatelaine is, but in Crimson Peak, that's what Lucille's character wears. That's where they would hold, keys and embroidery, needles, all kinds of stuff.
Like a pocket, or a belt.
It was basically like an outer pocket, but it was like pretty jewelry.
Yeah, and it might have scissors on it, like little tools, like small tools that you might need, like you said, keys, and then they would hang from your belt.
considering that Inez is basically the ones that take care, the caretaker of the family, basically after their parents die, she's the one that takes care of her sisters.
Yeah,
it really does make sense for her to have like pockets like that.
Yeah. So let's move on here, guys. Okay, so tell me about this one here then.
Oh, that's actually probably my favorite dress from Inez.
It's very Grecian.
Yeah,
I know, with the sleeves.
Yeah. In this one, it's when she gets news of a big tragedy. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it. But and I wanted her to appear more vulnerable. And as you can see, the colors, while they're more or less the same, like the green and the red, they're darker now. They're more bloody.
Actually,
yeah, it looks like blood. That's what I was thinking.
Actually, I thought for a split second before you said it was the red. I thought it was actually sheer, and I was about to agree. Yeah, that makes him look more vulnerable because you can see her skin.
Actually, no, that's silk brocade. For me, that's silk brocade. The flowers, they're brocaded.
Yeah,
they're brocaded.
Okay.
Yeah, because on the collar, like the lace goes up goes up her neck. It looks like, right? It's like like roses or something. It looks like.
Yeah, actually, those are petunias.
Petunias, and then you've taken the same fabric and used it as trim on the dress.
Yes.
Is it the same brocade?
Because
I like that.
And I wanted a wave pattern because by that time she's very stern. She's very hard on because she has to be.
Yeah.
She's the lady of the house.
Basically.
Yeah.
She's the head of the house, and if you don't know, in the flower language, petunias mean resentment and jealousy. And the fact that they're brocaded, they're like scars. They're like the scars of the past that she wears on her skin.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
I love how it's loose, but it's also a little cinched.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. It's just drawn in. It looks like it might be like there's some gathering around the neckline a bit, like a little bit of ruching in.
Yeah, and I can't. Also, pleating. I love how her I can't tell if it's the opening of her dress or if it's like really long, kind of like
it's a belt. It's a silk. It's a black silk belt.
Like a cord.
I like whenever. Yeah, I like whenever they go down a little further versus like right at the hips.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so she wears this in the house because it looks like a little bit less of a formal gown.
Yeah, this is something that she will wear on the house because when she gets the news, it will be night, and she was like preparing to go to bed. And to me, she will be like one of the last because she's the most responsible. She will be like one of the last to go to bed. So she would have been starting to get undressed when she got the call. That's why she still has her dress.
Okay. Okay. So then what about this here?
That would be that would be the dress that she would wear to the ball where or tense that wears the blue gown. She would wear this gown. So
this is in a sort of flashback as well.
Yes, this is this would be in taffeta silk.
Yep.
And basically what I wanted with her was to make a gown that while it's pretty, it doesn't sit comfortably on her.
Sure.
It's like, because if this is a girl that she has very low self-esteem because of the color of her skin, and if you are like that, you wouldn't just be excited to go to a ball and be in public where everybody can see you. So basically it will be like her mother forced her to go because she wanted her to get married and find a husband, even though she's very sure that she will not find a husband because, well, she's not white.
Yeah, yeah.
And also another thing,
her mother would force her into that dress. Basically.
Also, another thing that I love is that how you have sort of like the little hat with the veil and also the gloves, because back in those days, women.
That's another costume. That's from the costume next to that one.
I was going to say because it looks like so beautiful because women back then would wear gloves to show either that they don't want to explore anything new, like they just want to stay where they are.
Yeah.
I wanted her to look vulnerable in this one. That's why she's wearing. That's why she has white. She has like pearl. The dress is pearl because that's what it's described that in the short story. That's that from.
It's like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Basically, she's uncomfortable. That's why, honestly, I kind of regret the necklace, because if I could do it again, it wouldn't be that necklace. It would be more of a choker.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So to symbolize
that she's being repressed,
is choking her, basically.
Yeah. Okay, here I'm gonna move on here. Okay, and she's older here.
That's Ines when she's an old woman.
Yeah.
And basically, that's why she's a matronly. She's matronly, and you can see that her pockets and the lining. That's like, this is like the darkest red in the repertoire.
Almost like a burgundy.
It's like old blood.
Yeah. Oxidized
it's like
blood.
Basically,
oh, yeah.
it's like basically like all the weight of the blood, the family blood on her shoulders, and that's when she wears the gloves and the hat.
Okay.
And
what is that hat though? I can't figure it out. What's going on with that hat?
The hat, it will be like around the turn of the century, maybe in the 1910s at most, I think.
Okay, let me see if I can zoom in
because
here.
I can now see the little
so when
it's the petunias again.
Roses.
When I zoomed in, could you see that, guys? When I zoomed in?
I see it.
Yeah, the black roses.
But the thing that I like about the gloves is that I think, and I don't know about the play because obviously you and Heidi won't spoil it to me, but I really do want to hear the story of it. Mm-hmm. But it looks like she's been fighting, like she's fighting against like life and everything.
Basically, because since all this tragedy has started, where they lost loved ones, they lost everything. They used to have like a ranch to the country in Tuarta, which is actually where my mom lives. But they used to have a ranch, and it basically became bankrupt, and they wouldn't sell it because the middle sister Hortensia, she was so stubborn that she would not sell, and basically the bank just took it from them. So, and basically because of stubbornness and unwillingness to adapt, they just became these shadows of their former selves.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I also noticed how on her hands, even with the gloves on, you can tell that she is not wearing any kind of wedding band whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, they never married. They never married.
They're all like spinsters.
All three of them are spinsters.
Yeah. And the
spinsters.
Yeah. That's an old-fashioned term, but it's the gloves, they're sort of like a mesh, like a knit.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like a knit,
they've got holes in them, it looks like.
Yeah, because it's like they try to darn them, because to me this dress, they would like try their hardest to what's the word that I'm looking for? Preserve from the 1910s, because again, physically it's the 1950s or 1940s. And I actually showed this to my costume design professor, and he said while he guessed the poeticness of it, practically it wouldn't make sense. So I have to make like another one, because she's trying to show the world, because she's the only one that goes outside of the house. So she's the one that shows the world that no, they're not crazy, no, they're not stuck, and they're so well, I think I would, if I could remake this, I will keep the silhouette, but try to make it a bit more contemporary of the time period in which the story is set.
Yeah, well, if you shortened it, that would
exactly.
do the trick, I think.
Well, actually, I agree with the length in this picture, because I think another way to show that she's trying to keep that refinedness, and especially with the gloves and the veil, how it's just a little bit ripped.
Yeah,
I would like to see, well, not like to see, but like if the bottom of her dress was like a little bit like the hem was torn and like it was like cape of mud.
Yeah, but that's the thing. She's trying not to let people see like the poverty.
I mean, so you could do some like
very proud people. She's a very proud person.
Yeah, you could do some darning or something then.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people would have done that. They would have, repaired their clothes, and very, very beautifully sometimes. But you could show some of that. So if the hem, let's say, was torn, she could have patched it or, something like that. But I think by shortening it, because she could have taken, let's say, a gown she had from 1910 and then shortened it to make it more contemporary, because people would have done that, right? And then they would take the fabric that you cut off and you would make it into something else.
And just as an extra, the shawl, the shawl that you love.
Yeah, I love it.
I would have her when she goes out to get the grave box, the tomb, the thing. Se me olvidó cómo decirlo en inglés, puñeta. Sorry.
Like the cremated, like the cremation.
No. The box, the box to put the body in to bury it.
Oh, like the casket.
The casket.
Yeah, the casket. Thank you.
Or coffin.
When she goes out and to get the casket, she actually wears the shawl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The shawl it will be like more worn.
Yeah.
But she will still wear it.
Yeah.
To make it like a shadow of his former self.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so then finally, this is the last one. I just got this from you a little while ago. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great one to show the last.
That's actually their mother. Are you sure I didn't send you more? Because I could have sworn I showed you more. Because this is their mother.
I don't.
This is their mother.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some. I might be missing some.
Are those pearls starting at the bodice and going down?
Yeah, I love the pearls. Those are pearls, right?
Yes, those are pearls.
You know what, Tatiana? It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. I'll have to go through. I'll have to go through the emails, because what I did was every time you sent me an email, I saved them to a file. So I took all these today from the file, but maybe I didn't save them. So it's possible. Well,
if you want, I have like the originals right here. I can just like hold them up like this and show them.
Okay.
But anyways,
this one.
This is their mother, the sister's mother, and she died shortly after the U.S. Defeated Spain in the Hispanic American War.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When they took possession of Puerto Rico, and they said since she was Spanish, her husband, the doctor said she died of anemia, but her husband said that no, she died of a broken heart when she saw the American flag flying in the wind instead of the Spanish flag.
Yeah, well, that sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
Sorry, no offense, Aaron, but given the circumstances, that's sorry.
I know. I in all honesty, yeah. But what I love is that I don't know. I just love the little, not really pleating, but just how it's laying like the ruffles on the fabric, and especially I love the poofy sleeves.
That is also silk brocade. That is still also black silk brocade. And if you see closely, the pattern there, it's holly. It's
I was going to say, was it mistletoe or holly?
It's holly.
Let me see if I can zoom in here.
Because
you guys see this when I zoom in?
I can see it. I don't know if they can see it.
I don't know. Like when I zoom in on the picture, Tatiana, can you see that? I have a zoom function. Yeah, so I can go down. I love, and her jewelry is beautiful.
Are those sapphires or topaz?
Yeah, sapphires. What are they?
Yeah, those are sapphires. It's sapphire and pearls, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the grandmother?
No, their mother.
Well, their mother.
Their mother.
Because they never had children either.
Yeah, so they've got money or had money.
They had money, and she was the father was this rancher, this very well off rancher, and she was described as this regal queen that just took the room by storm, basically. And she
what I love about this? What I love about this dress, for some reason, I can see Queen Victoria wearing it.
It's very queenly. It is. It's definitely.
It is.
It has a.
It's like very high queen. Like I feel like if a person walked into a room with this, they would immediately grab all the attention. Yeah. Like everybody would stop talking and shut up.
But I love how you put the pearl string, like the pearls along the seams of the dress. Like those would be where the seams would be. I love how you did that.
Yeah, I also love how on her bracelet it actually has a flower motif.
Yeah,
with the sapphires in the center.
Basically all her jewelry, if you see closely, has the flower motif.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I like you to see like the fan, if you can see like the fan,
That's as
because the
far as
fan is
like
actually lace.
it's the most I can zoom in on it. I can't zoom in any bigger.
But if you can
Sorry.
see, it's made of lace and
Yeah,
has
it's
like
beautiful.
darker accents and darker
Mm-hmm.
I like the
things.
jaggedness of it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a spider web.
It
You know what
is.
though, Tatiana? I have to say on this one, if I was to do this fan, I would make it bigger. Just
Yeah.
more in scale. Like, I mean, maybe this isn't the scale you're looking at anyway, but just in because of her sleeves and everything, I would probably, I think she could handle having a bigger fan. I don't know what you
Well,
think, Aaron.
actually, the reason why the fans were smaller,
Yep.
for like really contemporary looks and like really beautiful looks is
Mhm.
because these fans were not really meant for use.
Yeah.
Because of how sheer they not sheer because they're made of lace and they can't
Yeah.
really pick up air.
Yeah.
And they would always make them smaller, mostly because it costs more money to get them more ornate and more beautiful looking.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'm just thinking like just from a scale point of view, like it's, but no, I get what you're saying. I just think
but it is
just,
beautiful. It is
I
very
love it.
beautiful. The
I love
fan.
it.
I actually, for the fan, I went with a mix between the play and the short story.
Yeah.
Because in the short story that the play is based on, which was also written by René Marquez, he describes this big, beautiful black fan that just like could with one wind just blow everyone away. And in the
Sure.
play, when Inez gives the fan to Emilia, the little sister, which is not here, she describes like a smaller, dainty white fan that's
Okay.
pearl. So I kind of went with a mix of both.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting that it was actually in the text.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing you could do, Tatiana, if you ever want to have show more detail of something, is you could do like you've done this before. You could actually do a separate drawing of the fan. Like if it's like a prop. Sometimes when I've worked on shows, if the costume designer wants to sort of convey something and it just be a little more information, they'll sometimes do additional little drawings like that, like have it be its own drawing kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Also, like how the cut of the lay on the how the gown lays on her, because it's not like maiden, it's more like, and it's not like queen, it's more like the queen mother.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. I think you mean it's like a little bit more matronly, like less youthful.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it also shows that, you
her
know,
age. She looks like a
it
married
also
woman.
she also shows just a little bit of skin.
Yeah, a little bit of skin. Well, I mean, even it was funny because sometimes I've seen pictures of costumes that were clearly for much older women, and you'll see this if you watch some period shows. You'll be like, wow, that's really weird. Like, you know, here's a woman.
It doesn't fit.
Like she's in her 50s.
I can actually show you I can actually show you the reference pictures that I took in base on it. Like, I'm gonna try to like show it to you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you see it, like the black dress. This black dress right. I basically based it on this, and this is like a zoom in, like over this right here, and basically this other dress that's green. I basically those are the dress that I based this dress on. Basically.
Oh, I love that one. I love the one on the bottom left. That one there.
Really, I love that one in the middle.
This one.
That's the one
Heidi likes the one on the left. I like the one in the middle.
This one?
Oh.
I'm not sure. Wait, this one or yeah, I should have a few. Wait, let me try.
Okay, the one that I like is second row middle, and I think the one that Heidi likes is top left.
Oh no, it's bottom left.
Black, right.
I like the bottom left.
Oh, bottom left. Okay.
Oh, you mean this one? The white one?
I love the middle one.
This one, the more matronly one?
Yeah, Heidi loves the left one, while I like the middle one because it's just so cool looking.
Yeah, I like the bottom left.
So basically, I use this black gown and this green gown as a basis.
Yeah.
For that dress.
It's gorgeous.
Okay. And for Tensia's blue dress, I actually based it on your on the pictures that you showed from in Crimson Peak about Edith's dress, the ball gown she wears when she dances with Thomas.
Oh yeah, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, I use those as reference photos. See?
Yeah, no, I know, I loved it, and she used a lot of pearls in that, but she had them like swags, like whereas you have them actually like kind of like trim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice period. Guys, we're gonna have to move things along. Sorry, we're gonna have to get to Aaron.
Yeah, of course.
Because we're over 2 hours here now, which is fine.
We'll be here all night. Fine.
30 days is still here. Golf Princess says Aaron is so smart. She put sunglasses on. Okay, so Aaron, let's get to you. Let's talk about Aaron.
Hi.
Okay. Show me the money.
Okay, so Aaron, this was one of the first things you sent me. Tatiana, I don't know if you've seen any of these things here. Laugh at Love. Aaron,
you can actually
says Laugh at Love. So many pictures.
You can actually.
It's a super duper slideshow here.
What's actually funny is if you look on the far right picture.
Yep.
Is where I actually messed up hand sewing, and what happened was it got caught on a door, and it actually bunched up the seam that I did, but I was able to fix it later. Like,
yeah, you were able to pull it back out again. See, I never even noticed that.
I actually had to re-sew it, but that was before I had my machine.
Yeah.
But this skirt was supposed to represent levels of Cersei's character development. If you look on the middle one, it almost looks like wildfire, but also how it looks like frost is forming over it.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that applique. It looks so subtle.
Yeah.
But distinct at the same time. I just love it.
And also I
envy your skill.
Yeah, so Aaron, this is for Cersei, right? Wait, just to clear things up for everybody. This is for Cersei.
Yes, this is for Cersei. It's not really a look from the show. It's just kind of a combination of certain dresses that she's worn, just kind of in a much more darker material.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 30 Days is saying, I guess when Aaron talks, it goes back to his picture. So, okay.
Oh, yeah, it does that. It does that constantly. So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. So don't talk, Aaron.
I'll shut up.
So that we can admire your work.
Okay. So I'm going to talk, but then I'm going to stop talking. Okay. On the left picture, it looks like sand grain because I wanted to represent the burning of the great, the septum.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Now, did you ever make, Aaron, sorry. Did you ever make a top for this?
I did. That's the one that where it's the complete look together.
Oh, okay. So we have a picture. Is this it here? Is this it here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let's go back. Okay.
Okay. So, for the back, because it's based off of the War of the Roses, I wanted to go a little bit more Celtic, but kind of keep with that Cersei look.
Yep.
And actually, the funny thing is, if you look at that material, it matches that material that Tatiana just showed in that middle picture, that kind of crisscrossy velvet.
Yeah. Now the middle one though, here, sorry, this one here, is this silk? What is that? That looks like GPNE silk.
That is exactly what she said.
Like a nubby silk.
Mm-hmm. It's very textured too. Like if you ran your fingers over it, it almost felt like not tree bark, but kind of in a similar sense.
No, I love it. I love it. I love that you did that. That's a really unusual thing because I know you like working with layers, but you rarely will see someone do 3 different sections using 3 different
And the
fabrics.
thing is that each section I made specifically heavy.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to show not only is her life a burden on her, but it's also a burden that incorporates into her personal life. Yeah.
So was it heavy to wear?
The skirt alone weighed a good 10 pounds.
Wow.
I was doing cardio that day.
Thank you, dude.
So here you are. You cut your head off here, but here you are wearing the top with it.
Actually, the funny thing is that I didn't cut my head off. That was the girl. She was so short.
Oh, really? How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, okay. And what kind of shoes are you wearing here?
I am wearing 3-inch pumps.
Okay. So what was this event? Weird. What was this event that you went to?
Me and my friend and her daughter, for the past 2 years, we go to a Comic-Con in Charlotte, and it's called Heroes Con.
Okay, and then And did people come up to you and talk to you and stuff like that?
There
About the
was one
costume?
person. Yes, there was one person. I was walking past him, and he had like a damn like little setup, little booth where he sold things, and it was so funny because he had a damn cowbell. He immediately started ringing it and said, "Shame!" I died of
Oh my
laughter.
God, that's awesome! I love it. That's so great. Oh my gosh.
And the top of the bodice, I guess
Yeah.
you can call that. Although for men, I don't know if it's anything
Shoulders?
different. It might be.
Yep.
It's actually the matching material. You can't really tell in the picture. It's not showing up, but it's the same matching material as the front panel of the skirt.
Oh, okay. The
Oh.
sleeves are so tight at the
Well,
front.
I know, but
Did you have a hard time
that's
getting them
how.
on, or did you button them? Did you button them?
Actually, this is gonna
Or
sound really
snap them?
funny, but it's made out of a latex leather, the top of it,
That's
and
what I
the
was
way how people
wondering.
get latex and leather on, if it's like really form fitting, is they
Yeah.
literally have to put like Vaseline and baby powder.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. So
Dear
that's
sweet Jesus.
wow, that's amazing. So that is
I
latex.
wanted to ask, how did you
Mhm.
make the shoulder pads and
Yeah.
the chain? How do you make that?
Actually, the chain I actually bought from Hobby Lobby, which is like a big. It's like the bougie version of Michael's. And I bought the chain there, and the chain was actually like minute. I don't know if you can zoom in, Heidi, to kind of show it.
Try. There, can you see a bit better, guys?
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
it better.
I'm trying to be
Yeah.
quiet so people can see it just a little bit, like in the
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah.
But it was like an interlocking Celtic kind of metal,
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
and the
And then that
shoulders are not actually separate shoulder pads. They're actually sewn embroidered silver thread.
Oh, I thought it looked. You know what I thought it looked like? I thought it looked like a rickrack, like the zigzag trim.
Yeah, now that I
It
now that I look at
was.
Yeah, I love it.
It was, but I literally had to hand sew that on,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
actually on each little zigzag, I actually put like a little bead of silver,
Oh,
but you
nice.
can't really see it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you know what, Aaron? You have to like when you next time you do this, you got to get some close-up shots.
Yeah.
I know. I just don't think about it. I'm just like, let me send this real quick.
No, well, you've been better. You've been better. But like when I saw this, I remember I said to you, "Hey, do you have a better resolution so we can zoom in?" Because unfortunately, it's such a low res that when you zoom in, you can't see the
Yeah,
detail.
and also, this was emailed to me, so I really had
sure.
like no control.
You know what? I'm really bad.
If you
with
actually
this
look
too.
on the hips, if you actually look on the hips, I
Yeah.
actually incorporated the Japanese kind of armor that the royal guard would wear.
Yeah. Because so what I was
Where
going
it's
to
kind
say is,
of
if you can remember, if you put it on a mannequin after, you can take a picture of it.
actually
someone-
the thing is, I was so frustrated with that costume because it weighed like a good 25 pounds.
Wow.
That I literally just ripped it off. I couldn't take it. I was like, I ain't
Yeah.
doing all this lacing and unlacing. So I literally
Yeah.
did, the wedding thing where they would sell this man a pair of scissors so he can literally cut the bride out the dress. I literally just did that. I went, shh.
Yeah. You could reuse the
So
skirt,
sadly,
though. You can reuse the skirt.
actually, the skirt was actually reused into another costume.
Oh, well, that's good. So you can repurpose it. That's awesome.
Into what?
Yeah.
Would you
What are the
repurpose it in?
Oh God, I can't remember. I'll see it with the next
Oh,
pictures.
Golf Princess. God, some people are still here with us. Thanks, guys. Golf Princess says tomorrow is the last day for Heroes Con. Are you going, Aaron?
Sadly, this year I cannot go.
Yeah. And you're here
But
with
I
me then.
usually, I think like 20 people stopped me and asked me questions
Wow.
about the costume, and they were like,
Yeah.
"How did you make it?" I was like, "It was a pain in the ass."
Yeah. So here's one of your costume designs. Can you see it? This is of Queen Belfort.
Yes, it is.
Swan Queen.
I called it Swan Queen, but I based it off of Aiko's dress for Queen Clementine from the Mirror.
Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know this movie, I actually. Oh, you know what, Aaron? I'm going to review this
Oh
movie.
yeah, I saw it.
I'm going to do. Okay. So if anybody doesn't know, or if anybody's going to be watching this on the replay, so Aiko. I think it's Isioka.
Isiaka, maybe.
Isioka. Yeah. She's the costume designer for Mirror, but she also did Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mhm.
And I've had a couple of people ask me to do this movie. I got to do it. And so I finally watched it, and Armie Hammer's in it.
Oh,
Yes.
And he
I
plays
love
the
it.
prince. He's adorable. And then Julia Roberts is in it, and the girl, she's so cute. What's her name? Aaron?
Lily
Yeah.
Collins.
Lily Collins. Yeah. So, and so this would be like the Julia Roberts costume.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
wanted to go more like Feather Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
But
you wanted to do like a black swan kind of thing to
Yeah.
contrast Cinderella what? No, wait.
Snow White.
Yeah. Snow
Yeah.
White, sorry. Snow
Yeah.
White's more
Yeah.
white swan thing.
And if you look on the top of the dress, you can actually see some beige under it because I really wanted to make it sheer, just kind of a little bit.
So Aaron's doing the same thing. He's got Aaron. You drawing? I'm going to send you a sketch pad, Aaron.
Oh.
Aaron's drawing on straight paper.
Actually, the thing is that after this, I started sketching my pictures on like regular computer paper, and then I would tediously cut it out and glue it onto the striped paper.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I'm crazy. Don't ask questions.
so that you could write the notes next to it. Is that
why? And that's why.
Oh.
And like on the back, you can actually see. Well, I didn't take a picture of the back because I didn't really think about it, but it actually goes into detail about how much yardage I would need to create it.
Yeah, totally. Golf Princess says maybe I'll see you next year. I'm only 30 minutes from Charlotte.
Yeah,
awesome.
More than I would love to go. It's just my friend recently had surgery. So I don't, because where we live, we're like a good hour from Charlotte.
Oh, and she says, and maybe I'll have something to wear by then. Aaron, maybe you can make her something to wear.
Possibly.
Yeah. Now, Aaron, speaking of that, Aaron, like do you do custom orders?
I do, but right now I'm still setting up the website. It's more word of mouth, but what I'm going to call it. Yeah. But what I'm going to call it is I love the Cinderella movie and the fairy godmother, so I wanted to do like the Godfather, that and not like the killer, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. So are you going to do it on
like
Etsy?
Fairy Godfather.
Fairy Godfather. Are you going to do it on Etsy? Or are you going to do your website?
I'm still trying to set up that part, but web designing is just like editing a video. It's gonna it kills you slowly. Totally.
I totally know what you're talking about. Okay, this is just gorgeous. So are there any plans to make this then? Because you haven't made it yet, right?
I'm still looking for the right material.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would totally suggest that you look for like raven feathers, the ones that like have like different colors. It's not just black, but that if you turn it to the light, it looks more like greenish or bluish.
But no, I'm not going to use.
Just give it that shine.
I like the suggestion.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be feathers. It's going to be like silk taffeta and chiffon
to look like feathers.
Although I will keep that in mind for a future project. Hush, hush.
Golf Princess says Fairy Godfather is perfect. She thinks that's a great name. Yeah,
I might have met her last year actually at the Comic-Con, but.
Yeah.
There's actually a video that a friend of mine sent me. That's Love Never Dies, the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. Well, one of the Christines, she filmed her dressing room and she like gave like a close view of her costumes and the peacock dress, the last dress she wears. At the end of the show. That is like absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
The blue one, and she gives She tells them how they made it and how they give like different layers to make it look like it's a peacock dress. And honestly, if you can find that video and look at it, I think it can give you some really good ideas for that dress.
I don't think we talked about this with Tatiana, but I actually internship for the what was it, Heidi? I told you, the Huntsman movie.
Yeah, the second one. Yeah.
I was one of the 50 people.
Yeah, who was
one of the 50 people that made the little the gold and oil cape.
And who's the costume designer on that? Was that Colleen
Atwood.
Colleen Atwood, yeah. I
am so jealous right now.
Yeah. That's what you got to do, Tatiana. You should try and get an internship.
I can try.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the next picture, this is Evil Queen version 1.
Yeah. Okay. So, Aaron, I just want to let you know, I I might have a few of the pictures out of order. So the Evil Queen version 1 has the V-neck, right?
Yes.
It
Okay.
looks kind of Spanish
Mhm.
esque.
It is because I
Here, let me
I
try
always
zoom
try to
in here.
incorporate my my
Your
ancestry.
Latin roots.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've got this beautiful pleating here, which I love.
That's
This like it kind of goes.
gorgeous.
Actually, here you can see it better in this
Oh,
picture.
there's a crinoline cage and everything.
Oh, sorry. Let me go in here. You can kind of see it there better. See?
I
Oh, this is
wanted to go for armor, but contemporary.
Yeah. What kind of fabric is this?
That fabric is a fabric of my own kind of making.
Oh, you
What-
make textiles
and-
too?
What does that mean?
I custom ordered and designed the fabric.
Where did you get that from? Is that from?
Oh, it's damn. I'll email you the link later.
Well,
I
what
just
if-
can't remember.
Because I've heard about this one place where you can do that. So how does it work?
Basically, I give them an idea. Like I'll say I want the base to be cotton, but also has some rayon or anything.
Sure.
And then they will literally make it, and they will dye it the exact like color you want. It costs a pretty penny, but
Wow.
you know.
That's amazing.
But this material I use, this whole costume is the mannequin that's on it is female.
Yep.
And the female mannequin is a size 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Ah,
But this costume can literally stretch from a size like 0 all the way to a size 10.
Wow.
so I can wear it. I'm going
It's a
to
magic
steal it.
dress. Now,
It
did
really
you,
is. It's so versatile, and it can literally
Yeah.
shape into anything.
Did you make the hoops, Aaron? Did you do the hoops
Yes,
yourself?
that was my first crinoline cage ever made.
Wow. Good
Nice.
job.
As you can
did
tell
a good
by the
job.
jankiness.
No.
The
Not
actually
janky.
looks pretty good.
I think that's pretty
Considering
good.
that
But,
I actually helped to make a crinoline for a play in my university.
Yep.
It's pretty freaking good.
I think it's pretty good.
It's aggravating as all hell. So
Yeah.
what I did with the crinoline was I used an overlay of black silk, but on the inside for the boning channel, I actually used very thick cotton.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the ones I've seen, they just use twill tape.
Yes, and it rips so easy.
Yeah, you can get some more more durable, like I don't know, they call it like industrial grade.
Kind
like
of.
from suppliers. Certain suppliers have it, and you can get it in black. And then where did you get the wire for the hoop?
The wire, I don't know if y'all know this, but I usually get all my like materials, like if it's metal for hooping or anything, I literally go to like Home Depot or Lowe's.
No, that's clever. Yeah. I've actually, if anybody's watching this on the replay, I've worked with a lot of designers who go to hardware stores. Hey, Tatiana, you can actually get some cool ideas. I did an event. I don't know if you guys know, they have this thing called Virgin Fest
Mhm.
every
Never
year.
heard of it.
Was that the wine one where you and your husband? No, you and your sister. Was that
No. That was one I just did recently. That I did an event with my sister where we went to wine country, and that was actually for her company. It had nothing to do with costumes. No, there's this thing called Virgin Fest, and every summer they have a big party, and so they wanted like these trees, like people to be able to wear trees. And dress up like trees, and then or shrubs actually, and then they would get up and dance, and then once in a while they would go sit down. It would look like they're a tree, like a little shrub. So we had to make them. So we ended up making them out of like fencing, like plastic fencing, like snow fencing.
Yeah.
And then we covered them with just tons and tons of foliage, like that we got at Michael's or Walmart or whatever. We just covered it. And then, but we left, we had to make like a place where their face could look through, and then their arms could come out, and their legs were we left the bottom open, but they could just sit down in this thing and look like a shrub, and then they could stand up and then start dancing around. So it was a really kind of, someone says Virgin Fest sounds like you should be on drugs to be there. Yeah, I think it's kind of a party. But it's Virgin, the company Virgin, like Virgin Airlines, Virgin Radio, that kind of thing.
The funny thing is about the individual hoops, because people had these like hoop caps and all kinds of things to hold it together.
Yeah.
I actually got my father's solder. It melts metal.
Yeah.
And I actually bonded the metal together so that way it wouldn't come undone if I like run into a doorway or something.
Totally. Yeah. I've seen it done sometimes. I think you can just clamp. I don't say clamp them. I've seen some people sometimes they just use tape. Like they'll
Well,
just use
that's a good
tape.
thing too for any DIYer anywhere.
Yeah,
Like I
tape
don't care if you're a
works.
professional. You always you always get like a crappy nail file and you file down the middle, but you also cap it with a little bit of tape so that way it does not tear through.
Yeah, so because I mean it'll keep the you know the hoop shape if it's in, as long as it's in the casing, but like you say if it's sharp then it'll eventually cut through the filing it down. So are you have you made another one since? Is this the one you've made?
This is the stand-in. So like if somebody wants like a dress of a crinoline, you know, this one's not for sale.
This is one you use just for draping and stuff like that.
Yes. Also, a quick little wrap up in the middle picture.
Yeah.
That is, I think, organza chiffon.
Yeah, it looks very, very sheer.
Yeah.
And
I like the shine of it.
Me too. It's got a nice luster.
The thing is that the longer layer is not connected to the that's 2 layers. So if the train one to be detached, all you had to do is click a little button, it'll come undone.
Oh.
And also another thing that I designed for the little kind of train on it is that if you actually took it off, you could actually cinch it to your neck and that actually be like a little cape.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to move along because we're moving. It's like 25 to 9. I got to move along here. I'm going to have to go soon. Okay. So this one is Evil Queen version 2.
Version 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love this one. I love the neckline.
Me too. I love that neckline. Yeah.
I wanted something plunging, but something that's a little more inviting, like she's trying to trick you.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this one really doesn't have any detail to princess. I think they're called princess seams.
Yeah, it looks like it's just it doesn't have it has bust darts, I think, right? Does it have darts?
Yes. And the reason why I left this one so plain was because I'm actually gonna make what Lucille wears, where it's like the brocade kind of spiky.
On
her blue and her black dress. And I didn't run I don't like making things with too much detail because then later if I'm like, oh, I want to add this to it, oh, you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But on the shoulders.
I actually like this.
By what Lucille wears. Do you mean in her midnight blue dress or the black dress she wears when she's out and about with Edith and Thomas?
Well, actually, the thing is, in the Heidi's video, they actually just recycled the exact same one. The little kind of brocadey thing going like up her chest and back her shoulder, where it's almost like acorny and oaky.
The leaf motif, like the butterfly motif. Oh, that's what you're gonna use.
Yeah.
And the only detail I really put in was the princess seams, and also on the sleeves. I don't know if Heidi has a picture of it.
Yeah, I have.
I did puckering.
Yeah.
And also a little bit of like, you know, Espanol flair.
Here's the darts here. Here's your very nice darts, Aaron, and nicely pressed.
Very nice.
Yeah, and you've got a waist seam, like a nice waist seam.
Yes, because I actually messed up.
Yeah,
so and I accidentally made the skirts.
So you've got gathers at the shoulders, and then you've got this nice. I like this actually. Isn't that nice, Tatiana? Yeah, that's a beautiful little detail.
I like the subtlety.
I like it too. I think that's the thing,
because,
right?
You know, if you're gonna be queen, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you finished this costume yet? Is it done?
No, I had to put it off for orders.
Okay.
But the skirt, it's like the exact same skirt because the skirt that I made, it's gathered draped pleats, so literally you can wear any kind of form skirt with it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Yeah.
Although for the top of this one, like the bodice and the kind of longness, it doesn't really work with a crinoline. So that's why I decided to make version 1 and version 2.
Sure. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. I'm not sure what this part is from.
Okay.
Is this from the same costume?
On the crinoline cage, I decided to sew a skirt on it, and it's like a little lacy, kind of shiny. So that way, like if the costume moved, you know, you can actually see like a little bit of shine in it. I hate making costumes that are completely black. I want a little bit of color.
Let me zoom in here a bit. Yeah.
And that's the little waistband right there.
Yeah.
And every costume that I make it so if somebody wants to wear it, they can.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it
it's
doesn't matter if your
elastic
friend's a size
waist.
0. Yes, I don't care if your friend's a size 0. I would make that skirt or bodice or
Yeah.
anything to stretch at least to a 10.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's adjustable. Or if you're having just a fat day and
Mhm.
you're like, I could get into that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so this one here, this is Into the Woods.
Yes, this
The Witcher.
was the Into the Woods starring Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep,
Meryl Sheep.
and it
Meryl
came out
Streep.
in 2014 or 15, I think. And this
Yeah.
is her old witch costume.
Sure. Yeah.
And the
But
one is the new witch costume.
Hmm?
Oh wait, those two are mixed together, right?
Yes.
those
yeah,
are all the layers.
Exactly. You've done 3 layers here. So he's got a blue
Mhm.
layer, a black layer, and then an overlay.
So the base of the skirt is the black one, yes,
Yeah.
and it is it's a little bit of a tougher chiffon.
Yeah.
It's just a tougher black chiffon, and it's really not opaque. It's really like, if you wore this and you didn't wear a bra, nobody could see anything. Like, it was really dark.
Sure. Yeah. You can
And
see it's a little bit sheer. We're here on the floor.
yes,
It's just
it's
a little
just
bit of
little.
a little bit sheer. And then
the blue one,
color is amazing.
I love
that one is I think it's called an electric lustrous.
I love
Like,
it. It's got a bit of
like
purple in it
like-
or something.
It's like an electric royal blue kind of thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like almost like shot. Do you guys know what shot is? Like two-tone?
Yeah.
Yes, I love shot material.
Yeah. And then
but this one, the blue one is a little bit more lighter, but the meshing that goes on top of it is really like sparkly.
30 days. He wants to know, Aaron, what's the point of the bottom layer if the blue covers it? You can sort of see it a little bit.
A form has to have, your skirt has to have form. It's almost like a peignet or a petticoat. That's why, earlier we were talking about how flat Belle looks, because she doesn't have any kind of bum mold or
so
anything.
30 days, what he's saying is it has to have some understructure to it, like a little bit of a base. So even
the reason why I chose such a tough chiffon is because it puckers, and that's what gives it its form.
Yeah. And then sorry guys, I keep doing this. And then this is and then you've got like a sparkle kind of organza or something here over top.
Black mesh organza.
Yeah.
And killed me to hem it.
That's the fabric there. It's like a crystal. In Canada, we call this like a crystalette.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they call it. I made this.
Crystalette.
I made that skirt like years ago.
Yeah. It's got like a sheen.
I made that thing like years ago.
I think we call it sparkle. Yeah, sparkle, because it's got a bit of a sparkle kind of luster to it.
Oh yeah.
We call it crystalite here too.
Do you call it that? Okay, yeah.
But just basically for underskirts back in the day, 30 day reviews, they would always use a much more stiffer, tougher material to give it more form without the need of a crinoline, peignet, petticoat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in Peaky Blinders, they don't wear those.
No, they don't. Yeah.
They wear like really tough material under the skirt, so it gives it that form.
Yeah. It also, I think it also extends the life of the costume, because let's say if you're wearing something over and over again, you don't want to have your good, beautiful layers against your skin. You want to have like a tougher material against your skin.
And that's just like whenever we were congratulating Tatiana on how she included the chemise, because that's what a chemise was. It was to protect the fabric from like the sweat of your body.
Yeah. Aaron, did you see that Outlander review video I did though, where they showed Leary where she just had the corset on?
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yes.
Oh my stars! I was like, and then
I was like, who the hell?
It's like,
well, I was just like,
and the worst thing is, and the worst thing is, she's so pale.
I know.
That would just look like a rash.
I thought she had on a damn chemise because she was so pale.
No, you can actually see. You get those little skin bumps when you're like cold, as you could see that.
Poor girl.
The poor girl, and talk about Vaseline and talcum powder. Like seriously,
Yeah.
No, it's so
Yeah.
funny though because when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, is this like a? You know?" I was comparing it to Dynasty. You know, putting on a bustier.
Oh yeah.
You know, Joan Collins. Her, you know, when she was trying to seduce one of the characters on the show.
Yeah.
So okay, so this one here, this is a dark fairy godmother.
Dark.
This is your sketch, I think, right? Is
Is
that
this
it?
is this from Once Upon a Time?
I actually
Dark
based it off
Fairy?
of Once Upon a Time,
Yeah,
and
I love it.
also Once Upon a Time, and also Game of Thrones, like the
Yeah.
cut of the vest.
Yeah,
Oh.
this feels very
And I
Cersei.
can see that there's some symbols in the sheerness. What do you know what those are?
No, I
Oh,
write my letters very strange. Heidi, if you go back for 1 second, if you look at the B,
yeah.
and then you can see
Oh.
an E and the legs, and that's for on the back of the paper, so I can go into more detail about the fabric.
Oh.
So
okay.
actually on the
I thought those
vest.
were decorations.
Oh no, but also on the vest, it has a C on it, and that's just how I always done my C's.
And also, Aaron, you have the fanciest arrows. Look at Aaron.
I know.
Right?
So can you see his arrows pointing? They're like these beautiful little,
Yeah.
like beautiful scrolled symbols.
Because if
Yeah.
I'm gonna make something, I'm gonna have some damn detail. I ain't doing all that stuff.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So here. Okay. So we'll go to the costume though. Okay. Now I've got. There's a picture of a full. Like again, your head's cut off. I'm gonna have to talk to your
Yeah.
photographer.
I am the photographer.
Oh, you took this of yourself? Okay. Maybe you don't
Yeah,
want-
it was really awkward because I had to like hold the phone so I can
Oh,
get
I
like
see.
some of the detail.
Yeah.
But okay, so
So this
the
is
vest.
the same. Is this the same skirt? Is this this
Yes.
skirt? Oh, it is.
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, this is
It's
a different
one.
skirt. Okay.
Okay, so for the lacing for the eyelets and for the side of it, I actually use a stretch material so that way I can get it on and off very easily.
Yep.
And then on the bottom eyelets, I actually did like really jagged, like black silk.
It looks like there's blue here. Is that?
That is, it's like a very dark, it's a darted blue and black.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
You're good.
Oh.
Pussy.
Thank you.
But,
and so here I've got a couple of other pictures here of it. Oh, so
Yes.
here.
Okay.
So
Ignore that one.
I like the panel. I like the panel at the bottom. The bottom of the top. That
Yes.
was interesting.
this here?
Now the layers of the skirt were actually.
Was that a separate piece or did it come with the show with the
That was my version of a male chemise, almost in a sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
But actually, if you look, it's really fun because if you look like all the way at the bottom of the middle one, you can see my big toe peeking out.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you're actually wearing that here.
Yes.
Okay. So again, you got that the sparkle kind of organza here again.
Yes, it was the same one. I did a layer of that one had no. Okay, the one that's all the way at the bottom on the bottom left, that was a whole separate picture. That was just a crinoline cage by itself.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't wear it with it, and just like with 30 days review asked, I used a tougher material under it to give it that fullness of it.
Yeah.
And
sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
But the vest itself was actually made of a material called tatting.
Tatting?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know.
Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from?
The fabric store.
Well, here I don't know. And then you've lined it with satin.
Yes. And you can actually see a little bit more of the blue, but also in the blue of the separate ribbons.
Yeah. When we were back over here, there.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like this is the collar. Unfortunately, the way I've cropped this, the collar, you can't really see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so we're going to move on. Okay. Oh, this one is one of my
Sleeping Beauty.
I love it.
And actually, Tatiana, I think you'd be very proud of me because I took a little inspiration from you. Heidi, if you could zoom into the neckline of the picture on the left.
Yeah.
They actually did a briar rose out of the same purple material.
You made a briar rose?
Yes.
Oh, I think I see it now. Oh.
Go back up, Heidi. You're going all the way down.
This is probably my favorite dress.
I love it.
So good.
It's so gorgeous. You know what I love? Sorry, is this? I don't know what this is. Is this in the fabric, Aaron? It looks like
actually. There's an old technique It was
I
called
love it.
sun dyeing, and what I did was I actually twisted the fabric and sprayed bleach on it, and then I let it soak in the sun.
Oh my
Because I was
God.
thinking like Sleeping Beauty, you know, she's gonna be asleep in this dress for a long time. She's gonna have
Yeah.
some sun damage to it.
That is so clever. I love
Dude,
it.
that's genius.
That's
Oh, it's
amazing.
And
so good. I love it.
Look at this gorgeous.
that dress is actually a simple wrap.
Yeah.
So
But
creative.
the material I think was called lilac primrose or something. So
Yeah.
it has a hint of
It
pink
looks
because
like it looks like something Danny would wear in
Yeah.
like season 1.
Totally. Yeah.
And
So but you've got two different fabrics here. Like you've got like a sheer and then sort of like a silk.
oh no, this was the last panel of like a rare, not I want to say rare material, but of the fabric. So I'm the
Yeah.
only person that has the last remaining of it.
Oh yeah, look at
Nice.
this.
And it's like and also if you look on the bottom skirt, whenever I lift up the fold, you can actually see I did another kind of design on it.
Sorry, where's this? Where am I looking?
Yeah, the one on the go back.
Here?
The one on the right. No, yeah, the one on the left. You can actually see it kind of winding up her body.
Yes. Like there?
Mm-hmm. And I try to do thorns.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Where?
I love it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna move along because we're almost at 9. I'm gonna have to close this up at about 9. So this one is your riding coat and dress. You sent this to me not
Yes.
that long ago. This is so cute.
I love the
And-
hat.
The hat's amazing. I
Oh,
love
Is that
I
it.
like
had
a
to do that.
Ant hat?
Where'd you
It's
find
actually
the hat? Aaron?
it's a I actually got the design to make it from a 19, I think 40s or 30s pillbox hat. It's
Yeah.
called a pillbox hat, like PILL box.
Yes. Yeah.
And I had to do a tutorial to actually felt it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ooh, cool.
But the riding coat I made for a costume for a family event, and what I did was I left it kind of loose and a little bit baggy, but in the back, I don't know if I took a picture of it because I was rushing, but it actually has a bit of cinching in it.
Yeah, I see you've got
Oh, Aaron,
yeah.
just so you know, 30 days review set is asking whether you do guy clothes as well.
What was that?
Whether you also make clothes whether you also make clothes for guys.
Yes, I do something called like cosplaying. I do something called crossplaying, where
Yeah.
if like a male portrays a female.
Yeah. In Canada, we call it gender bending cosplay.
Yeah.
Gender
Oh.
bending cosplay. Oh, Aaron, 30 days is telling you to be quiet so he can look at the pictures because every time you talk, we can't see the picture. So I'll talk for a minute, or Tatiana can talk for a minute. I can see, okay, you know what I was thinking? What I would love to see is if you put like a bit of a veil over on part of the hat, like, like
Oh,
that.
that would be great.
That pointed, I don't know what it's called. There's a name for it. It's a particular type of veiling.
I think it's called a bird cage.
birdcage. Like, so have you seen Moulin Rouge?
Yes.
There's a scene
Yeah.
where Nicole Kidman in this song, the show must go
On with
on,
the show.
where
On
she's
with
wearing the veiling over her eyes, over her
Mhm.
face. I think that would be really awesome. And oftentimes you would see women, like I think in riding habits or something. Right.
Yeah, and this one, I didn't put a veil on it because I don't like making stuff permanent. I always like to tweak it because nothing's ever perfect for
Well,
a
this is-
costume person.
Yeah, this is what's great about veiling is you can just take it off after, right? But I just
Yeah,
think that
but
would be
see,
really cool.
I'm crazy. I would sew it on.
Oh, you would? Okay. And I got some details here of the velvet. You're stitching.
That one,
Perfect.
the fabric I actually got from a link that you sent to a website where it had like darted velvet.
Oh, what was it? Was it from a Game of Thrones video?
I don't think so. I think it might have been Game of Thrones, but I also on the skirt you can see a little bit of it. I actually did a velvet trim of the same material.
Oh, okay.
And I went for like gray because again, I don't like just make something completely black. So I went with dark gray, light gray, silvery gray.
Yeah. But your stitching here is like perfect. Your stitching that you did right. Look at that.
I actually had to hand stitch that.
Very intricate.
That's hand sewed?
Yeah, the little cuffs of the sleeve.
You hand sewed that.
Yeah, I cheat. I use tape to keep the line straight.
Oh my stars. That's amazing.
Lol.
That's perfect.
Also, another thing, the cosplayers in the comments and also Tatiana, velvet is so annoying to work pucker, and that what drove me insane with this one.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. So guys, like just if anyone's watching this in the like in the replay, you have to get, there's a special foot you can get for your sewing machine that will work on velvet. Aaron, what kind of sewing machine have you got?
I have an original Singer and a new Singer.
Yeah. So if you go to the store, like the Singer store, supply or whatever, or you can even buy them online, like Amazon. You can get a special. I think it's called a walking foot.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll.
But
what I used to do.
This one.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say this one. I actually made it completely with the original Singer.
Oh, wow. The other thing is, you know what I do if I'm sewing velvet or something really weird is I put tissue paper down and I sew so I'll put the tissue paper between the sewing machine and then the funny fabric, and then it helps it to kind of glide, and then you can just pull the tissue paper away after.
Yeah, and I usually do that whenever I work with
like pleather or
something. Chiffon.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of tissue paper because it keeps it from like going a little crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so next I'm gonna finish up here.
This is the chiffon tea gown.
Is that like turn of the century? Because it's giving me Titanic vibes.
Well,
kinda. I just borrowed from a lot of different things.
Well, the one in the middle doesn't have the crinoline.
Yeah, I just did that for
whereas the one
client to show.
Yeah. I love the sash, by the way.
Me too.
That's what I was talking about earlier, Tatiana.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got that sort of macrame fringe. Did you buy the sash or did you make it?
I had to make it.
So did you buy? Here's a really good close up of it here. It's amazing. Look at that.
It's gorgeous.
Is it? Yeah. So that's macrame. So how did you make that?
I had to hand do it.
You're friggin' kidding me. So did you buy the fringe? Did you buy the fringe, or where'd you get the fringe from?
I had to get the fringe from the Joann's and Hobby Lobby store, and I spent like I think 48 hours hand knotting. You know, just slowly drive. Also, the sash, if you look at it, is actually made out of a crepe material. Yeah.
Oh, guys, sorry. I'm just going to say goodnight to Golf Princess. Oh, I know we went really long here. So thank you so much for staying with us. She says goodnight, everyone.
I'm sorry, Golf.
Bye.
Yeah.
Sorry, darling.
So, and Aaron's going to make you a costume for the next Dragon Con. Is it Dragon Con?
Hero Con.
Hero Con. There's so many cons now. I can't keep track of them all.
I know.
Yeah. So this, and
also,
go ahead, Aaron.
But also this dress as well can stretch from a 0 all the way to a I think like a 12.
Oh, okay. Jesus. Oh, Jack's saying if I pick this.
Honestly, I'm seriously getting some Rose vibes from this dress. Like I could easily see her wearing it like for tea.
Well, what I wanted to do, I stole from like the 1900s to the 1850s, and then I also stole like kimono style.
Yeah. Okay. Here I have a picture. Sorry, 30 days. I think it's late in the stream, but I figured out a way to hold on to the picture. Jack just came in and told me. So sorry. So we're like 3 hours into the stream, and I figured it out finally. Okay. 30 days says I'm going to start Mustache Con. I'll come to that.
Well, you do. You do have a killer mustache, sir.
What's that? What's that,
okay.
Tatiana?
Tatiana, you sound like a robot.
Tatiana, we're losing Tatiana.
Not again, really?
Oh no, now you're back.
Now.
Okay, so Aaron, here's on here. So you can see sort of kimono style here. I like that. You've done like a
It's
wrap
actually I
style.
base it off of a wrap dress, almost
off
like
of
a wrap kimono.
Yeah, yeah. And so it ties on the inside, and then does it tie up at the other side as well? Is that how you did it?
It does. I made the I don't want to call them strings, but the kind of ties.
The ties, yeah.
I actually made them like 2 yards long each. So if you wanted more
Sure.
cinch or if you wanted more material.
Yeah. Again, adjustable. You're always thinking about, you're always thinking about if somebody else wants to
Well,
wear it.
because one time I made a costume for a girl and she didn't have to wear it for like a full year and she actually got pregnant.
Oh.
And also, like, if you're wearing a beautiful dress and you go out to like a buffet or something and you eat something, do you want it to restrict you or kind of expand with you?
True.
That's awesome.
Very true.
So we're down to the last 2 slides, guys. Okay. We'll have to just do this
Oh my
again.
god, I love the line.
This is
I love
beautiful.
the line work.
What's
If you-
this sexy
if you-
snow? What is this sexy? No, I think you just sent this to me. I just found this in my email.
Yeah, okay. So it's really funny because at the top of it, I really just said, I don't really know as the title of it because I just drew it for no reason.
I love it. I think it's great. I think you should make it.
Honey, that's what I do all the time.
But I did base it.
No, I'm actually like working on a design for like a Game of Thrones wedding dress. A Game of Thrones inspired wedding dress. That's basically like a mixed match of almost all the female styles, like from Marjorie. I took from Marjorie, from
That'd
Dany,
be so
from
cool.
Cersei, from Sansa, from Catelyn. Basically, I think I'm gonna even take a little bit from Melisandre. It's like I'm trying to work it out in my head.
But this one,
Like
it
a
sounds really
hybrid.
crazy. I wanted this to look like a Tim Burton directed an episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Actually, that would be really cool to do like a black and white, Game of Thrones design. Like just, especially since Michelle Clapton, you can just do everything like, yeah, it does have that Tim Burton-esque. So who would this be for?
I don't really know. That's the thing.
I think it looks mostly like Cersei, maybe.
Yeah.
I like how Tatiana looked all coy. Like she was like, it's for me.
You're going to make it for her?
I will say no, honey. I will say no.
But okay, it's really hard. Oops, sorry. Real quick, it's really hard to tell. But I wanted each layer to be darted, so that way, if you like if you had to do like a weird spider walk or something, you could still.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. You know who could wear this? I'm strangely envisioning Daenerys using this to seduce Jon.
Ooh.
Is that weird?
No. Oh, speaking of that, like I was pretty disappointed at that. Like I was expecting when, she opened the door, she would be wearing something fabulous. And she wasn't.
Yeah, she's wearing the damn queen armor.
She was wearing her queen armor. She answered the door.
I was waiting for like a dressing gown or something. Like she was going to bed.
Like that.
Like I would expect her to wear something like what I made, the little tea gown thing.
Yeah, but like that scene where she's in the bathtub when Dario Naharis comes, and then she steps out of the bath, and then she puts on that robe. I'm like, why didn't they do something like that? Yeah! Anyway, so that was like a huge disappointment.
I was like, what in the hell?
Know, it's like,
yeah,
maybe that the budget had run out or something. I don't know.
What's that?
Possibly.
Aaron?
I actually just thought of something.
What's that?
I could see like a faceless man or Arya wearing this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Definitely.
it. But what did you write at the top? What does that say?
It literally says, I really don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it said sexy Snow.
Oh, God.
Like sexy Jon Snow.
He doesn't need a costume for that.
Yeah. He doesn't work anything.
He doesn't need a costume for it.
It has a bit of an armor look to it. It does. It has a little bit of an armor look.
Yeah, that's just all going to be like, that's going to be like striped cotton.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be cotton.
Give me ideas for a Dany dressing gown for that scene.
Yeah, she's got some armor, but it's sexy armor. Oh, I know. I'm kind of like excited but worried at the same time about the final season of Game of Thrones.
I am too.
I'm like, please don't screw it up. Please don't screw it up. Yeah, because there's
Me
so much expectation, you know?
We just literally have to wait
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah, but we're gonna take care of it on the fashion police, whatever we're gonna come up with the name of. This is
So,
so gorgeous, Aaron. Oh my God. Like
I love that color.
that color
Give me that
is
color. I need
Actually-
that color like
amazing.
yesterday.
Actually, do you know what I based this off of?
No, I
What?
don't at all. Oh, you might have told me, but I didn't read it.
I based it off of Interview with a Vampire,
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
and also there's a movie. It's called Epic.
Oh,
Oh, Epic. I
Beyonce's
think I've seen
character.
it. I think I've seen
And
it.
Beyonce's
Epic.
character.
Yeah, and it's like she wears like a dress. It was just like flower petals, and this one I wanted to be I have some more pictures of the bodice. I'm starting the process of making it, but the
Yeah.
top of it is going to be like wood, and the petticoat that's going to go under it is going to be like a lustrous flower color.
So did you buy this pleated like this already?
No.
You had it
You have
pleated?
to pleat everything.
Did you
Yep.
pleat it yourself? You maniac.
I hand pleated, cartilage pleated, and also broom held.
Oh my
broom handle
God.
pleated.
You're
Dude.
you're a
Where the hell
maniac.
do you get the time?
I am a sad 22-year-old.
Aaron, I was wondering, is this a half mannequin? Is that where'd you get this from?
It's actually not a mannequin whatsoever. It's literally an umbrella stand on top of a statue.
So it just it has your waist measurement though? Is that how, like or are you just using that to take pictures?
Well, actually, if you look in the third picture,
Like,
you can actually
okay.
see the excess of the waist that I just pinned to the thing.
Okay. So you just did this to take pictures?
Oh.
Yeah,
I've done stuff like this
because
before,
I didn't
so
feel like
I'm not judging.
I did not want to get my
am-
mannequin.
I am in love with the ruffles so much right now.
Yeah. This actually, if Aaron, did you see Crimson Peak?
Yeah,
It reminds me of her blood red gown as well.
Yeah.
All the crinkled
actually,
layers. Yeah.
this is I actually base this is gonna sound really crazy. I base the cut of it like it's swirling down.
Yeah.
And also you're the one that gave me the idea to start doing like pleats and all that kind of stuff.
I'm really crazy about pleats. I've just like, it's funny because I don't know what I just started after I did Penny Dreadful. I just started kind of going nuts and crazy over pleating and wanted to know everything about pleating.
A question that may be asked is if you look right there on the top layer, I actually had to separately tier because all of the cartilage pleating and hand pleating and sewing pleating was done separate from the material, and then I sewed it onto a what are those things called? A farthingale?
Yeah, a farthingale is like a base. You did it on a base, or do you mean
not with the piping, not with the where it has the metal in it. A farthingale was like an old like crinoline in a sense.
Yeah, it's a crinoline from like the 15th century.
From the I think the Tudor period, because Catherine the Great actually brought it with her from Spain.
That's right, exactly.
But what I did was I just sewed it onto it was like a lustrous kind of green cotton.
Yep. So it's so you've put it on a base.
Yeah, I did each one separate so that way it wouldn't lose its potency.
It's amazing. I just love it. How long is it? Is it long?
It's got it drags maybe like just a foot, like a feet, maybe like 1 feet or something.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Now I've got the technical aspects down.
I think to do all of those pleatings in every layer, I think it took me like a month.
Wow. You should have sent it out to like Accurate Pleating or whatever, that place that does all the Game of Thrones pleating.
I think they would be like, hey, what's going on over here?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much. I mean, we have a place in town that does pleating. I did a show where we had to have something pleated, and
sorry.
There was one place I know that, so it's just, I don't know how much it is, but like, I know hand pleating. Oh my God. But I mean, it'll stay unless you get it wet. Like
actually, the thing is that material is actually 2 different materials.
Yeah.
The top one is a darted. Oh,
is
God,
what?
it's been so long.
So what is it?
I'm trying to think of the it's a darted two-tone silk,
Yep.
but on the bottom of it, it has the exact same two-tone.
Yep.
But it's a satin.
Oh, okay.
It's to give it a little bit more poofiness, kind of
Yep.
like how we were discussing how, they use tougher materials to give something a bit more shape.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that way it holds the fold, so you can actually see like each layer without it, puffing out completely.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna close that up. Sorry, I'm gonna put it back to the camera. Hi. Oh my god, I probably like wilting here. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Oh, sorry, my microphone is like right in my face. I've been sort of just like chilling out here, Anyway, so guys, we'll have to have you back on because there was just so much to discuss. But I have to get the kids out of the cage.
Yeah.
Did you at least give them bread this time?
I did. I threw in a couple of stale rolls and
well, you gotta get rid of them somehow. You know what I mean? Like you can't just throw them away. That's just being wasteful.
Yeah. No, I know exactly. Yeah. So I figured, they had something to gnaw on. They're not. No, I'm just joking. Jack's here. They're here with Dad.
But no, we need to get all together again. And I think
for sure.
I think the next time we all do it, I really want to hear more of the stories behind Tatiana's her kind of original, kind of based off a little bit soap opera, like Telemundo.
Yeah, totally. But but I love this idea of maybe like we're going to do Game of Thrones, but we could even do another show, maybe the three of us watch, where we could just do like a fashion police. I just think it would be so much fun because I used to watch those shows and I'd be like, those ladies don't know what they're talking about. Like I get really mad and everything.
I feel like I would be like the Joan River.
You could be the Joan Rivers. Yeah. I could be the guy from I don't know. I don't even know who I would be.
Simon Cowell. You could be Simon Cowell from American Idol.
Yeah, I could be Simon Cowell. No, I won't. No, I won't be that mean. I won't be. I'm not. I don't think I'm that mean. I try to. It's funny because there's this other. I've mentioned this before. There's this other blog called Frock Flicks, and they're super mean, like really catty, like meow. And I try not to be like that because especially if it's a show that people really like. I know I got into a bit of trouble with Rain, but if it's a show that people really like, I don't want to be like trashing it. But there's just sometimes where I actually got called out. This is funny, guys. I don't know if you know this, but when Rhaegar was cast on the show, and
yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, like why did they cast this guy? I thought he should. I was expecting him to be more like Thor, beautiful.
Me too.
Right?
Like Chris Hemsworth.
I was expecting Thranduil pretty.
Yeah, like
I was
Chris
thinking
Hemsworth.
Legolas pretty.
Yeah, and I was.
He was like.
And someone said that that was really mean and that wasn't becoming of me. So
I don't give a damn. If I want something, I want something.
It's like
I wanted him to be
like,
hot.
Yeah, I mean, and that the actor wasn't bad looking or anything, okay. But he was like, he was fine. He was good. He was like objectively good looking. But after the hype, after the years and years of hype of. Oh, this guy was the most beautiful person in all the 7 kingdoms. And he was like,
he was okay. And it was kind of like,
and actually the funny thing is,
felt like whack, whack, whack. Like it was just
the funny thing is that in the video that we were talking with Tatiana and me, where we were giving information like, hey, look this up on YouTube. He's actually more muscular in the cartoons.
Yeah.
He's actually like, whoa, like, damn. But
like he looked like a pale version of Robert Baratheon, basically back in the youth.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I was sort of just a bit disappointed that he wasn't,
because whenever I saw him, I thought it was damn what's his name, Varys, Viserys.
A lot of people said. Go ahead, Tatiana.
When I saw it, I was like, wait, Viserys? Wait, weren't you? Wait, what are we watching? Then I saw that it wasn't like, oh.
Yeah, some people thought that it was his wig, that they had used his wig.
Yeah.
His wig like some shit from Party City.
Yeah.
Well, that too. And although it did say in the lore, it said that Viserys, like, he really admired his older brother. And he tried to look like him, and that's why Rhaegar looks so much like Viserys, because Viserys tried to look so much like him.
Yeah.
And, like, in that sense, I can get it.
they were lazy and didn't make a new wig.
Yeah,
it looks like the same damn wig.
It can be both. That was a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. Well, thank you both so much for coming. Like, it's been such a great experience, and it's been so fun getting to know you both better. And I really appreciate you coming on. And it was just really lovely. I'll have to have you back, and we'll have to do the fashion police. So,
Definitely.
Game of Thrones is coming out before the new season.
I definitely need to see after work.
Oh, do you mean the book?
Well, I was talking about the little show that we're gonna do. We're not gonna call it Game of Thrones. We're gonna call it Game of Throw. Like throw that shit away.
Yeah, Game of Throws. Game of Throws. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, and I just want to. I did a poll on YouTube and also on Twitter asking which my next video should be. So the Olana Terrell won. So I'm going to do her.
Yes. Olana is literally the representation of my grandmother and also like Genevieve.
Oh, that's awesome. So that'll be a great tribute to her. So I'm gonna do her, and I thought that'll be really fun. I've been wanting to do her actually for a while. Anyways,
she's my spirit animal.
But I do have. I'm hopefully going to have it out later. I have another Westworld video coming out, so I know you can't watch it, Tatiana, because it's for season 2.
Oh,
I can't watch it either.
So thank you guys both so much, and we'll look forward to having you again. And thank you everyone who came into the chat and stayed, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much to 30 Days who monitored the chat, and it wasn't too crazy tonight though. So, but we'll be back next Saturday, and hopefully you guys will come by. I think I might have, I'm not sure what's going on next Saturday, so I'll make an announcement at some point. I'm just fading here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Okay, well, so I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye everybody.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye. Ci vediamo.
I'm putting on you, Aaron. Aaron, you want to say bye?
Oh, I said bye too. I'm sorry. Bye everybody. Thank you for coming. We're so sorry. We can't control or stay focused.
Yeah.
I
bet you people who are gonna watch like the reback, like they're gonna rewatch it. You know what I mean? Like people who missed it, they're gonna be like, "This shit is 3 hours long. I ain't got time for this."
Anybody got time for that?
Oh, it's funny though. There's been other. I've gone to some other streams that have been 5 hours, and I don't know how they do it. I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I remember your longest one was with Justin Thomas, and I was like, okay, we need to wrap this up. I need to go to sleep.
That was 2 hours. But we had 3.
There was one that was like 3.
This one is like almost 3.5 actually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye. Take care.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye.